Uh, bear with me. My voice isn't the best. But after a few trades, the New York Knicks now are in prime position. But how prime of a position are they in? We talked about it a bit yesterday, but I want to know what teams in the league are they better than? How many teams do you have ahead of the Knicks as of right now? We got a new man on the panel. His name is Will. I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, man. Look, when it comes to the New York Knicks, I don't really. So what I would say is I'm not sure how many teams are better than them, but I don't actually consider them legit contenders. So I don't even know if I can tell you how many teams are better than them, just because I don't really think of them that highly, if I'm being honest, even with all the moves that they made this season.
So let's start
with the moves that they made this year, just in the Eastern Conference. Are they better than Boston?
No.
Cleveland?
No.
Milwaukee?
No.
Indy?
Yes.
Miami?
I say they're on par with Miami.
So they're around that area.
Yeah, Orlando. So around like the fifth best team in the East, maybe like fifth, sixth best team in the East.
So they're still a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference still.
Yeah.
And why is it that they only a top 5 seed, even with the stuff that they made to improve their crew? Because you already said you ain't on with them. You already said that you're not on with them, but they did improve their crew, right? We're getting we're getting Burke, we're getting Bojan, right? And now they decimated by injury, but these dudes are gonna be back after the All-Star break. These dudes are gonna be back. So why aren't they better than some of these other teams?
Because I don't believe in Jalen Brunson as a true number one player to be able to lead a team to a championship. I don't really believe in undersized players being the number one guy. I think if you look at just the past, there's only been a handful maybe of undersized guards or just players in general that could be the number one option on a championship level team. You're talking about Steph, and then maybe before that, maybe like Isaiah Thomas on the Pistons. Like, it doesn't really happen. So for that reason alone, I don't believe in the Knicks. I think Jalen Brunson could be a good number 2. But to be the number one guy, that's
he already showed you what he can be as the man. They went to the conference semifinals just last season. That's what you're getting from him as the man. Yeah. With this crew that he presently on, he already showed you that. Now, Julius Randle is obviously the difference with this crew. He got to play better. If he plays better, they go further. No question about that. But it's obvious what the Knicks did. They pushed all their chips to the front of the table, Ron. They're trying to win today. They ain't trying to win in a year. They ain't trying to win in 2 years. They're trying to win right now. They're trying to win right now. And this dude over here, this dude over here on my right, he's making it clear. He on the Knicks train. He on the Knicks train. He's down with the Knicks because he's a Bojan guy. That's who he is. He's a Bojan guy. So he down with the Knicks. I'm not one of those guys.
They got everything, Chill. Got everything you need. They got everything. They got defense. They got rebounding. They got shooters. They got vets. You know what I'm saying? They hungry. You know, I'm sure Jalen Brunson, Bojan been around, had some good playoff runs. He wants to win. You know, Julius been around for a while. He wants to win. The guys off the bench, you got, well, I don't know who's starting, what's it going to be, but OG's tasted victory. He wants another one. What's my guy, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo? They were winning in college. I'm sure they want to win in the pros as well. I mean, they got everything you need. They're not missing anything. Chilltown, they're not missing anything. And most importantly, Chilltown, they're dogs. This is a team full of dogs, Chilltown.
Right quick, I got a $25 super chat. Right quick. Dirt TV said, "Who is the new guy?" LOL. You want to introduce yourself, Will?
Yeah, what's going on, folks? My name is Will. I run this channel called Will Talk Sports, also a soccer channel called Football Carnage. And yeah, reached out to me to come on the panel. Very excited to get in here. Been doing sports stuff. I work in sports at Bleacher Report. So, this is all that I live for, is to argue, talk about sports. So it's exciting.
That's what's up, Will. Happy that you're here, bro. But you said that everybody wants.
That's Real Madrid.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The best club in the world.
Second best in
Spain, Manchester United. You mean Manchester United? Even though
United. Oh man, I started on soccer, man.
But Will, you said that every team wants to win. I agree with that to a certain extent. I mean, I believe everybody wants to win, but is everybody really hungry to win? Like, we're supposed to all want to win, but some, just the storylines is all I'm saying. Kind of like I said, like OG. You know what I'm saying? I think he felt kind of slighted out there in Toronto. And then remember, he was hurt. He wasn't really too much a part of that run. I think he wants to prove himself. I definitely think Bojan wants to win, especially after being on some of those really good Utah teams. A lot of those Utah teams are forgotten about too, you know. So I think he wants to prove himself. Jalen Brunson, especially after the whole situation with Becky Hammond and people saying which on top of that, when Becky said that, I agreed with her. Now I'm not going to just stay on the hill if I see something different. The Knicks have done made the proper adjustments to put a team around Jalen Brunson that I think can win. So I'm rocking with them, but I'm rocking with them right now. I mean, obviously, I once again let me make sure I'm not saying they're going to win a championship. I still think the Celtics are the best team in the East, but I think the Knicks have done everything they can do to put their team into position to where if they did win, it wouldn't be crazy.
I agree with you.
What's this logic about small guards? I mean, don't get me wrong. Being the number one, it's always been a big man league. But, you know, you could win with small guards. San Antonio won with Tony Parker. Tony Parker ain't 6'5". Toronto won with Kyle Lowry. He ain't 6'6".
Yeah, but there's the best player, though, Chilton. They're talking about the best player on the team.
And I don't think that anybody that thinks Jalen Brunson is the best player on the Knicks is wrong. He's not the best player on the Knicks.
I don't think so either.
Time out.
I don't think so either.
Hold on, chill. You think Julius Randle is better than Jalen Brunson?
Once again, he's their only All-Pro. He's their only All-Star.
Oh,
he's
man.
their only. This is very simple. If he plays better, they're in the Eastern Conference Championship. Period.
Look, that's fine. Look, I think Julius
If
Randle
he
is
plays
great.
better, not even
all NBA caliber, but he's not Jalen Brunson. Who's at the end of the game? Who's playmaking and creating for his teammates? Who's their leading scorer? Who's a better defender? I mean, what are we talking? Jalen Brunson is the guy for that.
Jalen Brunson is a better defender than Julius Randle. Jalen Carl, you are crazy.
Please don't, John.
Not only that, you got a 24-10 guy who doesn't produce in the playoffs. That's the downside. That's where we have to get better. That's where the separator is. But as far as in the regular season, he's an All-Pro. He's an All-Star. That has to translate to the playoffs 100%.
That's right, but you also got 27-6.
You got 27-6, which he just started passing the basketball as of recent. Let's make sure we clear on that. He just started passing. Julius Randle's always been a glass cleaner. He's been a 19-10 guy his entire career. He's always been that. He's always been a scorer. He's become a better scorer with the New York Knicks. He's one of the main. Don't forget, they made the playoffs without Jalen Brunson. It's not like they made the playoffs only with Jalen Brunson. When Julius Randle was there, they made the playoffs. He fell off in the playoffs. That has to change. He's their only All-Pro that they have. That's it.
Yeah, but that team runs through Jalen Brunson.
Hate to change the subject. Hey, as Dirt TV said, but he said, y'all need to listen to Killer Mike's album, that one rap album of the year. Which one of you guys have heard this album?
I have not. I have not listened to Killer Mike. I probably should give it a listen since he won all those Grammys. But, you know.
I downloaded it. Haven't listened to it yet. Will, Ox, chill. It doesn't seem like you give a damn about Killer Mike.
It's not that he's whack. I don't think Killer Mike is whack. I think Killer Mike is dope. I don't think the Killer Mike is whack. I think Killer Mike is dope. And I'm sorry, I got stuck on this Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle thing. That's what I'm still on. But in terms of Killer Mike, I think he's dope. Clearly, Dirt TV thinks that he's dope too. So yeah. I will.
Killer Mike is dope, but I mean, the Butcher coming, so I don't got time for. I don't got time for nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't listening. Just didn't listen, man. The Butcher coming, so.
Yo, Dirt, send this in about 2-3 weeks. I'm gonna give it a spin and I'm gonna tap back in.
I'm gonna spin the block today with Killer Mike. Since you brought that up, Dirt, I'm gonna go check that album out. What's the name of the album?
Give me a second.
Yeah, find out what the name. Find out what I can find out. I can find out what the name of the album is because I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really listened to hip hop like that, yo. I'll be lying to you if I kind of peek my head in from time to time. At the Big got killed, yo. I was really.
You still got the classics on replay. You still got the classics.
I was really. I was in and out. After Big got killed, I had a real tough time with hip hop. I did. After Big got killed. So anyway,
it's called Michael.
Yeah, and chill with the All-Pro thing. We gotta understand though. Jalen Brunson is a point guard. This league is filled with super elite point guards. So if he doesn't make a first or second team, it's because of guys like Luka, SGA, Steph. You know, while Julius Randle is playing a position in the power forward spot, which is not as stacked as the point guard. So I get the All-Pro logic, even though I think Jalen Brunson has a very strong case to probably make a maybe a third team or maybe second team this year, especially if the Knicks end up.
But wait, Jalen, isn't the All NBA isn't just forwards?
That's it. In the league, it's littered
specifically power forwards. So
littered.
You got there's Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard. He's in that group. So we can't rock with that, Jalen. We can't rock with that, Jalen.
But you also know that it's kind of like a popularity contest as well. Not taking like anything.
Not the All Pro team. No, not the All Pro. Not the All Pro. It's not a popularity. Absolutely.
But people really dislike Julius Randle though.
No, and that's fair. But I think that we have to acknowledge that the Knicks go as far as Jalen Brunson is going to take them. Not how far.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Will, because last year, if Julius Randle plays better, they're in the Eastern Conference Championship. Period. At minimum, they're in the Eastern Conference Championship. So they're going to go as far as he takes them.
No, Jalen Brunson leading that team. Now, does Julius Randle need to step up and just give him what he does in the regular season?
Yes, better off.
But in terms of a championship, if they win a championship, Jalen Brunson has to be their best player. Randle has to play better, but Jalen Brunson
is their best player.
Yeah, he is the best player.
He is their best player.
100%.
Fellas, I'm about to run a poll. I'm gonna ask the chat who is better, Jalen Brunson or Julius Randle. Also, I got another $25 super chat from Dirt TV yet again. He said Jalen Brunson is clearly better than Julius Randle, and I'm from Dallas. I played against Julius Randle. He's the second best player I ever saw in high school.
Clearly better? Now, run down clearly better. So when I think run down clearly better, when I think about clearly better, I think this isn't even a conversation. Before Jalen Brunson got on the New York Knicks, Julius Randle, 24-10. Not just 24-10, leading his team to the playoffs. This is a team that hadn't been in the playoffs in almost 10 years before he got on the crew. He can play in the mid-range, rebounds with the best of them. He could be a better defender, 100%. He could definitely do that. Plays in the mid-range, great in transition, great dirty work guy, a great meat and potatoes guy who does all the other stuff in addition to scoring the basketball, in addition to dragging bigs away from the basket and getting them in foul trouble. In addition to all of that stuff, he's the engine that makes them go. Last year was evidence of that. If he plays better, even if Jalen Brunson, that 27 or 28 a game, if that drops down to 22 and Julius Randle gives you what he gave you in the regular season, they're in the Eastern Conference Championship.
Okay,
chill. If ifs were what, then your grandma would be who?
If was a split, we'd be all left up.
That's what I'm trying to say. Come on, chill. We've seen Jalen Brunson when the lights are the brightest perform the last 2 years. And we could take it back. I can even take it back to college if you guys allow me to do that. When the lights are bright, Julius Randle is who? Julius Randle?
He shrinks.
Where is he? Where do we find him? He might as well be the Gatorade man. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel what you're saying, and I like Julius more than the average man does. But I can't comfortably say that he's the best player on his team because when it's time to hoop, I know who's going to be the best player on the team. Now, can Julius Randle be a good two? One could hope so, but I stand with Will on this. And that partially is why I don't believe in the Knicks as well. I had deep thought on this last night. I don't think Jalen Brunson's back is big enough to carry these guys. But furthermore, chill, I do got one more thing, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm attacking you, but I got one more thing. I got one more thing that I gotta combat. You said that we've seen small guards lead teams, and then you proceeded to say the San Antonio Spurs. Tony Parker did not lead that team.
What?
Chill. They had two other Hall of Famers.
Okay.
3 at one point.
Whoa.
4 at another point.
In 2007, Tim Duncan was the anchor on that crew defensively. 100% he was. He was the anchor on that crew defensively. He was giving them, 19 a game? No doubt about that. I believe that Tony Parker was in the top 3 in the league in points in the paint at that time. And that's what you guys are predicating Jalen Brunson on. Bucket getter. That's who Jalen Brunson is. He's a straight bucket getter. So Tony Parker during that time, getting downhill, getting in the paint, scoring, he was one of the best in the league. If he's not doing that, they're not winning the NBA championship. Tim Duncan's role at that point, he was in 2007. He was in year 11. His role had changed. He wasn't old. He still was elite, but his role had changed. Ginobili, who was a rotation guy, Ginobili, who was still awesome. 100% he was still awesome. I think there was a conversation of him being in the same category with Dwayne Wade, but that got shut down in the Olympics. That definitely got shut down.
Right, he was in that conversation, rightfully so.
And he should have been. I'm not going to fight that, but it did get shut down. but we can't discount what Tony Parker did for the San Antonio Spurs, how he was as their leader at the lead guard spot.
But could I ask you a question?
He was their best player for that finals, sure. In that finals, he was definitely their
But
best
Tim
player.
Duncan was the best player on that team, though.
Yeah,
Tim Duncan was the
Yeah,
best player on that team.
And that's like where the argument started.
That part I won't argue.
That's what it's all about, Chilltown, is that what is that?
We're talking about the number one
a
option.
guard. Yeah, guard can't, but a little guard can't be the best player on the championship team. And that's where it was. So a lot of little guards have won championships, but not being the best player.
Other than Isaiah Thomas, only guy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's been a long time. Steph Curry 6'3".
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about 5'6". I'm talking about 6 foot, 5'11". You know what I'm saying? Little guards.
But not even just like point guards. I'm talking about just small players in general. I don't believe that they can be the number one option. So, like for example, like Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he could lead a team either because of his size. My number one concern. So, like, not even just the point guards.
This Knicks team too. I heard Chilltown say you're worried that if Julius Randle doesn't show up, they can't win. I'm telling you right now, this Knicks team, it's built so if Julius Randle, even if he has a series where he's giving you 17, when you have a guy like look yesterday. Dante DiVincenzo was balling carrying that team. I'm telling you, that boy is the truth. We have Bojan here too. He can give you 20. I'm telling you, DiVincenzo can give you 20 any night. Any night, no matter who's on the court, he can give you that. Bojan can give you 20 any night. OG can go hot and give you 20 any night. These guys have the pieces where even if Randall drops off, if he can do the other thing, he's still going to rebound. Like even when the scoring is there, he's still a pretty good rebounder. You know, he can still do things, like I said, a good defender in the paint, do his thing there. If he can do the other things, even if his shot's not falling, with the other pieces they have, I think they can make up for that and still win.
Well, this is the thing we talked about earlier. Julius, I think if Julius can get to the point where he realizes I don't have to score 30 first to win. Julius doesn't have to score a lot of points. Julius just has to be efficient. You know what I mean? If Julius can just be efficient, take care of the ball, rebound, play defense. If they match up with the Bucks, just be real physical with Giannis and bang with Giannis. That's all Julius has to do, because I know what Jalen Brunson is going to give you. Jalen Brunson is going to give you buckets. OG is going to play that great defense, knock down open jump shots, and make the right decisions. Bojan is going to fill up the bucket. All Julius Randle has to do is just be efficient. We don't like the Knicks don't need 30 points from Julius Randle. They didn't need it then.
But they need 30 from Jalen Brunson.
Yes,
that's what you're gonna get from Jalen.
What?
That's what Jalen Brunson does. Jalen Brunson. I'm not gonna be like Jalen. I need you to rebound and do this and that. Like, nah, that's not what you do, Jalen. You just go score the basketball, do your thing. You know, cause some chaos, cause some ruckus, and just attack the.
So Jalen Brunson is your bucket
defense.
getter.
Jalen Brunson, and Bojan.
Jalen Brunson and Bojan are your bucket getters. So now Julius Randle has now become the dirty work guy. They just put 35 points on the bench yesterday. I'm sorry. Bring Bojan and Alec Burks. They just put 35 points on the bench. So we got bucket getters. Yeah, Julius Randle, you need to start tapping into the dirty work aspect of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when you play against Milwaukee, Julius, I need you to be rough with Giannis. That's what this series is for you to do. This series, Julius. So now Julius Randle
put your body on Giannis.
Okay.
Yes.
So now Julius Randle has become he's gone from being the leading scorer and rebounder on this team to now Jalen Brunson has now taken over as the leading scorer. I'm just going to lead us in rebounds. I'm going to get buckets when it's necessary, and I'm going to do all the dirty work in order for us to win.
Be very efficient. Yes. That's what they need from Julius.
Exactly what he should be doing.
So that's going to have us win the NBA championship. With Jalen Brunson scoring all the points.
I don't know about all that.
What am I doing it for then?
Because
what I'm saying is that's doing that is what's going to give us the chance to win the championship. I just still think Boston's better, but there's nothing. Anything else Julius does is gonna put them in the hole. Julius out here shooting 24, 25 shots, step back threes, contested with over 2 people. We don't need that from you, Julius. I need you to attack from
Brunson though. But you need it from Brunson though.
I don't need anybody shooting. I don't need anybody shooting step back and contested threes. I don't need nobody doing that. But I definitely don't need you doing it, Julius. Julius, I need you attacking the rim, being physical on defense, get to the rack, get to the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? Be efficient. I need Julius. I need you shooting 12 shots a game. No more of this 23, 24 shots a game. We got Bojan Bogdanovic. We got Jalen Brunson. Let them do the scoring. Let Dante DiVincenzo come off the bench, or whoever's coming off the bench. I don't know.
Used to a dirty work guy.
Wait. So Joe, I have a question.
That's
do
not
you
a
think
reduction, though.
Julius
Dude.
Randle
That's a hell of a role. That's a hell of a role. That's a hell of a role.
No, wait, but who do you think Julius Randle is exactly? Like, so this is where
I think he's a 20 and 10 guy. That's what I think he is.
Okay, and you believe that he could be the number one option, like on a championship?
I think he's better than Jalen Brunson. That's what I think. I ain't say anything about him being a number one option on a championship team.
Okay.
I think he's better than Jalen Brunson.
Okay. I think Julius Randle is, to me, second or third option at best, like on a championship level team. And I think it's like you said, like he was leading the Knicks in points and rebounds, and then Brunson came in and then just took that from him. It's now Brunson's team, and that's why I just don't believe that they could win it with either one of those guys as the number one option. That's all. But they did make some good moves though.
So we got the wrong mix here. So we got the wrong mix here. And
for sure.
In terms of winning it, we have the wrong mix here. These two guys aren't the guys that we're going to win the NBA championship.
No.
That might be true. That may very well be true. That doesn't negate the fact that Julius Randle has to play better in the playoffs. He has to. In order for them to have a chance to go deep in the playoffs, he has to play better. This 24, 25 a game that I'm getting from him, that drops to 16, 17, that gives us no chance. No chance in order to win. Even if I am 16, 17, and I'm 12 rebounds, we got no shot in beating anybody. Because now the other stuff that these guys that you're talking about bringing in, now in addition to them doing their job, they got to make up for what I'm not doing. And we don't have that.
I think we're focused on the wrong positions when it comes to the New York Knicks. I don't think it's point guard or power forward. The reason why I surely don't have the Knicks beating the likes of the Heat, the Bucks, the Celtics,
I think they smoke my
is I don't believe in Isaiah Hartenstein. I like him. I just don't believe in him. And even worse, I don't believe in Jericho Sims being a championship level backup center or starting center. And that's why I have Bam running through them. I have Porzingis and Al Horford running them over. And I have Giannis Antetokounmpo with Julius Randle and all of them. Without Mitchell Robinson, I have Giannis having an absolute circus. Have you guys been to Circus Olay?
Yes.
You guys seen how they do backflips in midair and all of that? That's what Giannis is going to do to them.
You don't like Hartenstein? Look, I like Hartenstein a lot, but I thought Mitch was coming back.
If Mitch comes back,
if Mitch don't come back,
I
don't know. If Mitch come back,
then Goofy, leave then. Front running Knicks fan, leave then. Bounce.
Look, I've seen OG. I've seen OG Anunoby put the clamps on Giannis before. I've seen that with the Raptors. He's long, he's strong, he got some good size to him. I'm telling you, he can do his thing.
I mean, look, like miracles happen, but he's not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm not saying fully stop him, but he can make him work. He's not going to fully stop. But I just don't. And again, even a guy like Bam, he's not Embiid or Jokic. Like he's not like a huge, center. So I think again, guy like OG can do his thing, even Hartenstein. Now, when it comes to like Joel Embiid, Jokic centers like that, they're gonna have some problems for sure. They don't have a body.
Forgot about Joel.
Yeah, 100%. If he comes back, they're gonna have a problem for sure. But kind of with these like smaller bigs, they won't have a problem. I don't think they'll have a problem.
I think the Knicks, one of the biggest problems that they have is at the center spot, because Mitchell Robinson, he's been hurt the last 2 years, right? So Hartenstein, I don't think he's a starter, but I think he's a great fill-in. And I think he's a great fill-in for the time being. If you're going deep into the playoffs, some things are going to happen where teams are going to make adjustments, and you're going to need buckets from your big on some level. And if you're not going to be able to get that from Hartenstein, that's going to get exposed. He rebounds with the best of them. He can clean glass 100%, and he can rim protect. But when Jalen Brunson is making reads like he's making and passing the basketball like he's passing it, you got to be able to convert that. And if you don't have a guy like Hartenstein who should be able to score, if you don't have that, then that's going to get exposed.
Yeah, but I think that Hartenstein, he will be able to do a job just because there's not going to be that much attention on him. So I think like that will create more for him. And then with Mitch coming back, they'll rotate. But I don't really think that center is an issue for the Knicks, if I'm being honest. I feel like those guys are fine.
Well, they do the dirty work stuff. That's what the five man does. Like Hartenstein, he does the dirty work stuff in order for them to be successful. He does clean glass. He does rim protect. He does rim run. He puts pressure on other team centers to guard. All right, I can definitely get with that. But at some point, I can't just be, in terms of buckets, I can't just be nothing. I have to give you something, because you're going to have switches. You're going to have double team action where Jalen Brunson gets doubled. You're going to have action where he's going to have to see Hartenstein, where he's going to have to see Mitchell Robinson, and these guys are going to have to be able to convert at the rim. And if they're not doing that, that's going to be a problem, a huge problem.
Yeah, I agree with you. But again, I think it at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as much because I don't believe that the Knicks are going to be in contention like that regardless. So I don't really think it matters, with Hartenstein, Mitch Robinson. I think that the main issue is the Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle problem. So I feel like the center position is kind of like irrelevant to the conversation in terms of
your main problem is Julius Randle. This team going to the NBA Finals being built around Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. That's your problem.
Yes.
Well, here's the problem, Will. We can't. Everybody doesn't have Giannis. Everybody doesn't have Joker. Sorry, brother. Everybody doesn't have LeBron James. That's not the way this works. We got to roll with what we got. And
not for sure, but that's
more times than not. There's going to be times when if I don't have James or Joker or Giannis, I'm not going to have the best player in the series. So I'm going to have to do other stuff in order to compete. That's what I'm going to have to do. And I'm not going to be able to find Giannis because Giannis ain't milk where I could just go in the grocery store and grab one. Like, I got one right here. No, that's not going to happen. I got to figure this out some other way.
Yeah, that's fair. I just don't think it's going to work out no matter how they try to figure it out. Like, that's all that I'm saying. Like, when people talk about the Knicks, right, everybody goes on like they're a championship level team. Obviously, there's not just a Giannis just like lying around for them to go pick up, or there's not like a Tatum or somebody else that's of that level. But I just think that the expectations for the Knicks, it has to be kind of calmed down a bit. I think everybody's just getting carried away because the Knicks have been poverty for so long that when it looks like they're doing decent, it's like, oh my gosh, championship and all this stuff. But it's like, that's just not a franchise that's there yet. That's all.
It's the Knicks, Will. That's who they are. They win a playoff
I know, but they're
if they win a playoff game.
Be honest.
If they win a playoff game, they jumping around in the streets in New York. That's who the New York Knicks are. That's the New York Knicks fan base because they've been, quote unquote, poverty based for so long. But with all of that being said, you can build units around guys like Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson to do specific things where, for example, Tibbs is a defensive guy. Okay, he doesn't have Kevin Garnett. Nope, he doesn't have Kevin Garnett. But we could build this unit where we're a defensive-minded team. We could go deep into the playoffs, and that could be our calling card. And we'll get buckets in the other ways, but this could be our calling card where we can go deep into the playoffs. Does that mean we winning it? We do need some things to go our way, sure. But we do have to have a calling card. And I think that's what the Knicks' calling card is now.
It seems like purgatory to me. Not good enough to win, but you're not bad enough to really rebuild. You're just in the middle.
And Will, you keep bringing up Giannis too. Hey, the way the Milwaukee Bucks have looked, I'm really not that worried. If I'm the Knicks, the way the Bucks have been playing recently, ever since they got Doc Rivers, I'm really not that worried.
So if you had to put money like on a series, you would take the Knicks to beat the Bucks.
Talk to him, Will.
Yes.
Talk to him, Will.
Nah, you're crazy.
Hey, Will, you want to talk to him or you want me to? Hey, Will, you want to?
I'm telling you.
Or you want me to?
If that series goes down, we can talk about the bet. We can place the bets when the series go down.
All right, look, if that happens, I'm willing to make a bet. I think the main issue with the Bucks is really just Dame's defense. So I feel like them losing Drew Holiday, they're kind of feeling the effects of that. But if I had to put my money on the line, I feel much more confident, like 100,000 times more confident in a duo of Damian Lillard and Giannis over Jalen Brunson and the Knicks.
You know, that duo is fine, but every other piece, OG, Bojan, Dante, Josh Hart, give me the Knicks.
Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez.
Lopez, not that's it. Brook Lopez.
We're talking about guys who won
Beverly.
Brook Lopez, not the defender he used to be. He 100% is not. They get torched on the inside center position.
You fight that,
These are guys who know what it takes
not
to
that
win.
guy anymore. He's not that guy anymore.
But these are guys
better than Isaiah Hartenstein. In the playoffs, I damn near trust him more than Julius Randle.
They do different things.
Hey, he's low-key the second best front court player in the series.
I'm telling you right now, Brook Lopez, Isaiah Hartenstein, like if you want to say he's a little better 5, but the drop-off is not huge.
I mean, Ron, Brook Lopez is better than Isaiah Hartenstein. That's fine. I'm not going to combat that. But they do different things. In Hartenstein. Well, Hartenstein and Mitch are both. They don't got to. It's not it's about who's better, but it's about what do we do though? Like they do different things. They're effective in different ways. So I can't just write them off like they're not going to make an impact on the series though.
I think OG
like they're not shooting that 3-ball like Brook Lopez. No, they're not doing that. You can't drive and kick it to them. But the effect that Mitch has protecting the rim, the offensive rebound threat that Mitchell Robinson is, it's it's different, but it's still effective.
Isaiah Hartenstein I said, with Mitch, I changed my whole tune. Without Mitch,
okay.
So Mitch is a game changer. Like
sticks and out.
I'm fine with that. I can get with
Hey,
that.
without Mitch, then this Knicks team goes 6 games. I'm telling you, we can run down the whole Eastern Conference lineup. And I'm telling you, I can stack this Knicks team up, and it's a good team.
Mhm.
It's a good team, but a combination of Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and they got Bojan now, so you guys are all yip hooray. I'm telling you, it's not. They play against the Bucks. No. They play against the Celtics. I don't even need to say that.
The Celtics are the issue, not the Bucks.
Yeah, the Celtics are the team.
Even the Heat. So you mean to tell me that they have something for Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo,
I think they
Tyler Hero still
smoke,
and the rest of them guys?
What do you mean by
Rozier? You got them smoking the Heat.
I think they smoke the Heat.
The wing defending of OG, of Josh Hart, and you have Dante too, who's the lead perimeter defender. Those three guys, they're giving any team problems defensively.
First and foremost, let's be clear why they beat Milwaukee. Can we be honest why they beat Milwaukee? They bitched them dudes. Let's be honest about that. You ain't doing that with the New York Knicks. That's not happening. They straight pushed Milwaukee around. Got them dudes up out of there in 5 games. They're not doing that with the New York Knicks. Once again, Julius Randle has to play better. He definitely, and I think he's going to be better this postseason. I can't see the Miami Heat walking up on these dudes like they did last year. DiVincenzo is going to give them more. DiVincenzo is giving them more production. Hartenstein's going to give them more production. Julius Randle is going to give them more production. Jalen Brunson has been in the playoffs more than once, more than twice. He's seen more. So this unit from top to bottom, I think they smoked Miami in 5 games.
Damn.
Nah, I think that goes to 7.
I think they smoked them dudes.
Miami has Tyler Hero back this year too. Remember, he was out for the playoffs last year.
And I think that Terry Rozier is a big addition for them as well. I think he's very underrated.
Yes, 100% he is.
And we understand who Jimmy is in the playoffs. If he elevates again, there's Jimmy Butler.
I'm just saying, in every series that I break down with the Knicks, they don't even have the first or second best player on the court. And I think that goes a long way in the playoffs. It goes a long way. We can stack them up against any team. They don't have the first or the second best player. So I'm just expecting them to out tough and out physical their way all the way through the playoffs.
No, I get that. I
don't think that. No, I don't think so. Nobody say no. No, I don't think. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying, Ron. I'm not saying that. But that's not going to happen to them, though. That's the point. I'm not saying that they're going to do that.
Isn't the bad boy Knickerbocker?
That's not going to happen to them, though. You're not going to push them around. You're not going to rough them up. That's not going to happen. Which is what Miami did to Milwaukee. That's essentially what they did to Milwaukee. Push them around and rough them up. And a lot of people are telling me that, Giannis got hurt in that series. Do you guys remember Giannis in Game 4? Do you remember Giannis in Game 4 in Miami when they were up 15? He went 38-10 in that game, right? I just want to make sure we're clear on that. It wasn't like he was 12-6 and only played 22 minutes. He went 38-10 in that game.
Yeah, but they were up 15. Play a role.
They do play a role. 100% they do. However, they still were in a position to win that game. Still. And if they would have won, you wouldn't have said a word about him being hurt. Not one word.
Well, of course I would have. Of course I would have. Because look, if they win that series, I would have talked about how Giannis, he overcame an injury and he led them to be a tough team. But I think with him being hurt, I 100% believe that that's why the Heat advanced versus them.
I can get your logic of them not having the first and second best team.
That Miami wins that series just hands down if Giannis doesn't get hurt.
If Giannis doesn't get hurt, does Miami win that series?
If Giannis is healthy the whole way.
I think they had a psychological edge on them. I don't think Miami serves them, but I think it's a little bit more competitive series, but I think Miami does beat them still.
But, what do you mean by psychological?
Well, first and foremost, we've seen Giannis at the stripe. Giannis does not want to go to the stripe. You saw him in that game in Game 5. Why they lost that game? He couldn't get the ball out of his hands fast enough in the meat and potatoes of the game because he doesn't want to go to the stripe. That's why we can't go to him late in games because he doesn't want to go to the stripe. That's number one. Number two, when we're talking about Jimmy Butler and we're talking about that Milwaukee Bucks team, how they spread them out, how they spread Milwaukee out and made those guys guard, and how they didn't help Drew Holiday deal with Jimmy Butler. That was nuts to do something like that. How are you going to have a guy averaging 35, 36, 37, and you're not going to jump him? You're just going to leave him out on an island like that. I do think that the injury was I think it caused a little bit of a psychological edge, but they also did beat them a couple years back. So I think Miami came into that series a lot more confident than you give them credit for. A lot more.
Nah, I think that the confidence went up once Giannis got injured.
No doubt. That's the thing.
Yeah, because I think if Giannis is there, I think that goes to 6. And I think, the Bucks is going to advance for sure. But, they got lucky there with the injury.
That's what happens.
All right, fellas, this is a good time to tell everybody to like the video. Y'all help us get these likes up. These likes really help the channel to progress and move forward. I know you guys really rock with us, so show that by liking the video. We got some new members in here. Got to shout out all of our new members because we really appreciate y'all. A1J1 became an official YouTube member. Welcome to the show. And Uris also became a new member. What's up with y'all? Appreciate y'all for coming through. You guys see, we got a new system in the new year. If you send through a $25 super chat, we will change the topic. Dirty TV did it a couple times. If y'all don't like what we're talking about, send through $25. We'll change the topic immediately, or just address what you got to say about the debate that we having. Playback TV. Chill, how was your playback yesterday?
It was not yesterday. It was Tuesday.
That was me and Bama yesterday.
Jalen, how was your playback yesterday?
Not me.
It was good. We had that Dallas Knicks game. Jalen Brunson getting ruled out did kind of take away from Brunson versus Luka matchup we're kind of looking forward to. But that Knicks team, like I said, they showed a lot of heart. They were undermanned. No Randall, no Julius. Dante was stepping up. Josh Hart makes some big buckets. McBride coming off the bench doing his thing. Dallas obviously won. They just had more talent on the floor this particular night. But the way the Knicks were playing, obviously offensively, it was a little bit of a struggle before Dante got hot. But defensively, it was definitely a defensive game, though. The defense looked sharp. The rotations were good. So the Knicks, it was a loss, but they have a lot to build on there. So it was a good game. Me and Bam, we talked about a little more too. We talked about what were we talking about a little bit? We're talking about a little bit of Super Bowl, little Super Bowl talk. Chat was rocking with us. A little bit of Bama love life. You know how that get down. But, so we was having a good time. Man, we was chilling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, today on Playback.tv, in the Players' Choice room, which if you're not following, go ahead and make that happen. Playback's where it's at. We're going crazy on Playback right now. But Open Gym Down to the Facts will be on Playback. Right after Open Gym, they'll literally go over there and get down to the facts. They're going to watch some film or debunk any narrative or theories that may be going on in the basketball.
Ox, be the chat to correct them.
Basically, y'all gonna let them get on Playback and just lie again. So that's
you got a problem with it?
Mm.
I got a problem with them lying. Yeah, that's why I had to go up there when Jalen was up there and debunk all that bullshit.
Right, man, Ox, hey, you can learn something. I'm telling you, can learn some things. You gotta be willing to learn, chat. Ox off minds a little bit. Definitely gonna
when you learn basketball on 2K, you'll believe anything. So you know what I mean?
Chill that 49ers jersey.
Chill her Super Bowl and
Say. Okay, go get ready for Brock Purdy being exposed by that defense. That game man that people
I've been hearing this exposure all year long. I've just been hearing it all year.
It was close last game, Joe. It was close until that second half.
Close only counts in landmines and horseshoes. That's it. That's the only time close counts.
Can I get your predictions for this game? And I want to hear your predictions too, Jalen. And I know you said football, Will. I think you meant soccer. But if you got a prediction, I'd like to hear it too. In chat, we'll get off football once you guys get us up to 300 likes. Chill. What's your predictions for this game?
Run the football. I think that CMC should touch the ball at minimum 30 times. At minimum 30 times he should touch the football. And if the run doesn't work early, keep running the football. I think our front four is better than theirs. I think once that opens up, that's going to open up so many more opportunities for George Kittle in the flat. And Ayuk, and not just George Kittle in the flat, but Ayuk in 10 and 15-yard outs. Brock Purdy has already shown that he can hit those guys with those passes. And in our defense, Chase Young got to play better, man. Chase Young absolutely has to play better in his pass rush. Just like Bosa, he's going to play better. The last time we was in a bowl game, he was a rookie. That was 4 years ago. This ain't 4 years ago. I think we're going to be a lot better with Jones. With Jones on the defensive end. I think that my crew, the best that we could do is keep Patrick Mahomes under 300 yards, and we got a shot in winning this game.
What about you, Jalen?
I'd say it like this, chat. There's certain things you don't do in life. You don't go dancing after Michael Jackson. You don't try to hit a baseball after Barry Bonds. And you don't bet against MJ Mahomes. That boy Mahomes, no matter the situation, no matter the wide receivers he has, which he has nobody this year, making Rashee Rice look like an all-pro wide receiver. Travis Kelce getting old, but still doing his thing with Mahomes. You don't bet against him. I think it'll be a close game, though. Probably 20-17. I think that defense of the Chiefs is being incredibly underrated. Chris Jones could be a sleeper Super Bowl MVP. Those cornerbacks are doing their thing. Brock Purdy is not that guy. He needs that running game to succeed. I think this team is going to put pressure on Brock Purdy. He's going to be sacking him quite a bit. It's going to struggle. Give me the Chiefs over the Niners. Mahomes on his goat chase. Shout out early. Shout out. Come to the press box, y'all, after the Super Bowl. We're going to be talking about that game. Chilltown, I need you to show up. Lonnie said you're going to show up. Show up Monday. Win or lose, show up. We're going to get down to the facts. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the
Chilltown, are you pulling up win or lose? Win, lose, or draw?
Lose.
Okay.
Hey,
Monday.
Hey,
Monday.
I believe 49 red. These my boys. Win or lose, I'll beat it.
All right. You heard it here first on Monday. The press box. Ox, Will, do you guys have any bold predictions you want to make about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's gonna be the Chiefs. I have the script. I got a little early preview, and Chilltown's not gonna be happy with the outcome on Sunday. I mean, I think to me, the winner of the Super Bowl was always gonna be between the Ravens and Chiefs. And again, I don't believe in Brock Purdy. I don't think he's the guy. So I think he'll be exposed. The lights will be too bright. I think he's mid, very average, relies on his overall team a bit too much. But I do believe that the Niners have a better overall squad than the Chiefs do. But I just think when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, I just think that, these are guys who've been here before. They know what it takes, and I can't go against them because I made that mistake by picking the Ravens to beat them. So I learned my lesson.
The Niners about to beat the Chiefs bad. The Niners about to spank the Chiefs. It's not gonna be no close game like we talking about. The Niners about to put it on them boys. It's gonna get ugly down there in Vegas. It's gonna get ugly. The Niners about to beat them bad. They win by more than 2 touchdowns, but I got Niners by 17.
The way they looked against the Lions.
I would love to see that. Yes, I would. You mean, and Will, to your point, when you talked about Brock Purdy being average, I mean, I'm a little bit older than you. So, I mean, and I don't want to, flex the age thing because I think that's corny, to be honest with you. Yeah. But I'm a little bit older than you. So, I was around when Troy Aikman was throwing 15 touchdowns and they was winning the Super Bowl when he had Michael Irvin on one end, he had Alvin Harper on the other end, he had an all-pro tight end and Jay Novacek and Emmitt Smith in the backfield. Nobody said a word about him being average. Not one word. So I'm watching Brock Purdy make the necessary throws, which, by the way, we're talking about a Brock Purdy who this is his first full season as a starter. First full year as a starter. And with his first full year as a starter, if I'm not mistaken, he was up for league MVP this year. In addition to him being up for league MVP, his team is in the bowl game. I'm having a difficult time with the logic that with all of that, average quarterbacks don't do that.
You look at that roster.
Yeah, you know what? It's just the conversation people are putting Brock Purdy in. He has played phenomenal. But I'm telling you, I could probably throw 15 touchdowns with Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, CMC in the back. Like, that team is loaded. He's in the best situation in football without a doubt. So I give him credit, though. He definitely showed up. And that second half against the Lions, he showed me he's more than a game manager. I'm going to give him that. He showed me because he made the throws, that comeback. It was not. He did show me that. So I'm gonna give him credit. We have to give him credit for that. But he's not elevating a team like this team. If there's any year to beat a Mahomes, it's supposed to be this year.
Wait, how do you have to? You just said how good they were, Jalen. How much do you gotta elevate them? You just got to play your game. You just
manage the ball. Don't have no turnovers.
You saying that he's not elevating them. How much more could you elevate them? This is a great team. All you got to do is allow them, put them in the position to do their thing, and they got it.
That's fine. He's doing his job.
You don't need to be paid, man.
He's not. But say Brock Purdy's not a top. Tom Brady. I mean, Brock Purdy's not a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. The problem with the Brock Purdy conversation, people are putting him in the top 5 conversations. Like
Wait,
he was next to
Yeah,
Josh
but you're
Allen.
talking about people putting him in these conversations. Who cares what conversation he's in? Let's talk
That's
about
the-
what's going to happen on that turf,
Nah,
on
but
that
Niner
grass.
fans
What's
do,
going to happen?
because they cry.
That's why the Brock Purdy, when we talk about it, is because
Yeah, but
of the
y'all are worried
trust.
about fans and whatnot. Who cares if they put? Who cares if anybody says Brock Purdy's a top 5 quarterback? It don't matter.
Wait,
What's going to happen on that field? He doesn't have to elevate them. He does not have to be Joe Montana.
No, he doesn't.
But let's not act like Brock Purdy is the reason why they beat the Lions. Dan Campbell is the reason why the 49ers are in the championship game.
Once again,
gotta kick
it don't matter. It's not Brock Purdy versus the Chiefs. It's the Niners versus the Chiefs.
No, we're not doing that, Ops. Because the quarterback gets to shine, and he also gets to blame too.
But see, once again, we're talking about who gets to shine. I'm talking about when we're playing.
And who gets to blame too.
But that's irrelevant. I don't care who gets the shine or the blame. I'm talking about on the field. I'm talking about who's going to win. It's not like we're saying Brock Purdy does not have to be Peyton Manning or Joe Montana. He just has to get all these superstars he has on the team. He just has to allow them to do their thing. He has to make the right pass and not throw interceptions.
So Will, you just brought up the reason why their head coach was to their detriment. I still got to capitalize on that. Right? If you drop $100 on the floor, Will, I still got to pick it up. Otherwise, that $100 is going to sit there. So it's not like he went for it on 4th down and we didn't capitalize on that. I watch him hit Brandon Jennings. I watch him hit Jennings on 3rd down, right in the numbers. I'm watching him hit IU on 3rd down. These are big plays that we have it. And don't get me wrong, some things have to go your way sometimes. You can't being good ain't good enough. You do have to have some things go your way. And we did get lucky on that. I'm not going to lie about that. However, him running for first downs when the pocket gets flushed and the pocket collapses. Those things are huge. When you talk about a guy being a game manager, that makes me nuts when I hear that. Not specifically from you, but everybody, because everybody's a game manager. Peyton Manning was a game manager. We talk about this dude being a system quarterback. I don't know if you dudes know this, but Joe Montana played in the West Coast offense. That's a system.
But why are we talking about Joe Montana? This is Brock Purdy.
Right, because he won the
conversation we have.
Well, he played for the 49ers. That's number one. Number two, we're in the Super Bowl, and we're talking about quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And we're talking about him being a system quarterback.
Okay, but chill. I think that what you're underrating is there's really no way to actually game plan for the Niners because of how much talent is spread across the field. So it's like if you load the box, then you still got to deal with Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuels. But then if you don't load the box, then it hits you with CMC. So I think that Brock Purdy is in the best situation for a quarterback of his skill level. Because I don't believe if you put him on any other roster, you're seeing the same kind of output. I think that we all have to acknowledge that he benefits from the talent that's around him. He's not the guy to me.
Fellas, we do got to move on. But Will, I get what you're saying. Brock Purdy essentially is the NFL version of Jason Tatum. But that's okay. We can continue to move on. We'll see this Sunday what happens. The press box will be lit on Monday. Chilltown just announced that he will be making his appearance, win, lose, or draw. So we'll look forward to that. Can't wait to see what happens in the Super Bowl. But for basketball fans, last night was a very sentimental night in Los Angeles. It was the unveiling of the statue of a legend. Yes, Kobe Bryant. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen so we can check it out. And then I want to hear you guys' reaction on how you guys thought his trophy was. For those of you that didn't see it, feast your eyes on the screen.
That's dope.
And based on what his wife said, this was the pose that Kobe actually chose. This was the one that he wanted. How are we feeling about this, fellas? And what's your thoughts and reactions to this?
I mean, if Kobe wanted it, if Kobe made the decision, it's 100%. That's the way to go. They probably talked about it because he understood he was going to get a statue. It's 100% with the statue. I thought the statue was fine. They also said there's going to be 2 more statues. Hopefully, one of them, I think everyone kind of wanted that fadeaway. His iconic kind of fadeaway as one of the statues for sure. And the other one was his daughter. So I think that's perfectly fine. Great speeches, great abilities. I thought the statue was good. Looking forward to see the 2 others. Shout out the legend Kobe.
Yeah, for sure. If the Bryant family are happy with it, then I'm happy with it.
He should have been here to see this, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
He should have been here to see this. In the words of Tupac, I wish I lived my life a legend immortalized in pictures. I don't want him to live his life immortalized in pictures. He should have been here to see this. All that he did over the last 20 years, him and his baby should have been here to see this. 100% they should have been.
100% he should have been here. I just feel like he had so much more to do and give. Like as great as his NBA career was, we always say like he was one of those athletes that wasn't going to just kind of go into the background behind the scenes. He had other projects lined up. I don't know. He had a private equity firm in Brian Stiebel, which I was following closely. He had the whole the mom he connected with the gym with Mamba. He had like an academy, the Mamba Academy, I think, for women's basketball, things of that nature. You know, the storytelling with the books, the movies. He just has so much more to do. I just think that second act would have been just as great, if not even more great. So,
100%.
I am going to put this on the screen. It's more details of the trophy. I'm sorry. Well, it is the trophy, but of his statue. And you guys can see smaller details. I don't know if you guys have seen this so far, but that's zoomed up on the upper part of the statue. You see this quote that's actually on the bottom. It said, "Leave the game better than you found it. And when it comes time for you to leave a legend." Kobe Bryant.
100%. That's the way to do it, right? Leave the game better than how you found it. Now, people have different opinions on that, but
he gave the game everything. He did.
Y'all remember these shoes?
I actually had a pair of those, and I didn't even know that they was Kobe's. I know I sound goofy as hell right now. I know I sound super goofy right now. Let me tell you, Will, I found them in the Nike outlet. I was in the Nike outlet in Orlando, and I found a pair of them. They weren't purple and gold; they were black. They were all black, and I found a pair of them, and it was on sale for like $50. I was like, "These look cool." Come to find out, they Kobe's, and I didn't even know it. I know I sound super goofy right now. I do, but that's what they were.
Never had a pair of these, but I loved them though when they was out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this statue looks a lot better up close too.
Black and purple ones, that was fire.
You see, it got the championship trophies on the side too.
Solid.
Yeah, that's dope.
The details actually look a lot better up close. When you first see it from the front, it looks good. But when you really look up, zooming in close, the details.
Jalen, now I don't want to be nasty. I'm not gonna say that it sounds like you're hating, but it sounds like you think that they probably should have went with another pose.
No, I mean, again, it's his decision. I think that fadeaway is cool. Hopefully they do that too. To me, I was hoping that fadeaway. But again, Kobe and him Kobe and his wife had this conversation, and Kobe picked it. No complaints, 100%. You know, it's his statue. Get what he wanted.
Is that one in the building, and then there's going to be another one outside the building, or how's that work?
I'm not sure. They just said there'll be 3. Yeah, I'm not sure where it'll be placed, but they just have 3 statues, which deservedly so.
Do you think that they put that next to Shaq's?
I mean, Shaq's is hanging up, right? Shaq's is on top, so yeah, maybe that'd be cool. You got Shaq one hanging and him right next to it with the one finger pointed up. That'd be cool. That would be great. The chat's talking about something else though, but continue.
Chill. What moment was that?
That was when he scored 81 and he was walking off the floor with his hand up like that.
Yeah, it's iconic.
No doubt.
Should have did the Jersey pool.
That's the one I like. I like that one.
Yeah, that was nice.
I like the fadeaway too.
Yeah.
We got a couple super chats, and then I'm definitely gonna get back to.
Is there echo, Ron, or just me?
That's wrong.
Yes, echo.
1, 2.
Is that me?
Is it me? No.
Yeah. Somebody.
Hold up, right quick, fellas. Hold up.
No. Wait. Y'all still hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You still hear
that's
it?
not wrong. Yeah, that's not wrong.
Let me come in and know. It's me, I think.
Do you still hear it now? Because maybe.
I'll still hear it.
Chill. We can't hear you.
Will, I think it's you.
You think it's me? All right, let me refresh and come back in.
Okay.
All right. In the meantime, we got a few super chats while we wait for Jalen and Will to get back up in here.
Yeah.
The first super chat is from Justo11. Justo said the first run for Rando wasn't fully on him. That Knicks team was awful and got lucky making the playoffs. Look, that roster is nasty. The next run, he was hurt. Knicks will be in the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
Julius definitely gets a short end of the stick, bro. Julius gets the short end of the stick for sure.
Excuse me.
But that's just
Gets a lot of
and
hate.
a lot of it is because of inefficiency though. I think if he's just a little bit more efficient, I think if he shoots the ball a little less, he'll be all right. But not necessarily just less, but just take better shots. You know, go attack the paint. Just attack the paint, Julius. That's all I got to say about that.
Don't stand out shooting the long ball. Don't lay on the perimeter as much as he does. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely be more of an attack guy. Get to the rim, play in the mid post a little bit more. I can get with that. Sure, Big Ox. I could definitely get with that. Yeah,
I mean, Julius in that mid range, mid block, mid post area, he's a lot to handle. So I don't see why he wouldn't just abuse that, because you know he got the little touch shot right there, the little floater right there in the middle of the paint. He got the bank shot, and he's strong as hell. Like you can't really stop him from bullying you to the rim. So I don't know why he doesn't rely on that a little more. And I'm not saying don't shoot open three balls, but the step back threes contested. You know, it's just not necessary. I think he's just better than that.
Moving along, it's ironic that you guys said that, because MP13 has some things with Julius that he doesn't really like. He said, chill, there's no way you see Randall's shot selection, lack of reading the defense, not getting back on defense, tendency to chuck threes, and not using his natural strength to then say it's remotely close.
Damn, like it ain't close. Don't give me. I mean, it's not like that's going on every game, because if that was going on every game, all game long, I mean, he wouldn't be doing the things that he was doing. He wouldn't have been an all-pro. Now, yes, Julius Randle can put his head down. Julius Randle can turn into a bit of a detriment sometimes. No question about that. He definitely could do that. But with that being said, he can also play great from time to time. It just has to translate into the playoffs. It has to. It has to translate into the playoffs.
John Lyons just sent through a super chat and said, how did you guys feel about AR's attempted steal, even though he missed it, and MPJ hit the dagger three? It was a risky play, but I was okay with it. What's your guys' thoughts?
You dudes gonna roast me because I didn't watch the Laker game last night. The Lakers are, you know your chick that you keep going over the same thing with her, but it's not going to change. That's why I'm with the Lakers. Like, we keep talking about the same thing, and it hasn't changed. Over and over and over again. There's nothing consistent about this team. I didn't watch the game last night. I'll be lying to you if I said I did.
Yeah, Showtime, ain't nothing worse than a brick wall, Showtime.
That's all we keep. I keep telling you the same thing, and we keep going over the same thing, and you're not listening, and it's still the same thing over and over and over again. That's what it is with this Laker team. It's the same thing over and over again, and nothing changes. Nothing.
Okay, so I watched that game on replay. That game was a tie game with 2 minutes left in the fourth. That game simply came down to fourth quarter, late game shot making and execution. Jamal Murray hit a big three. MPJ hit the shot. LeBron missed a little layup opportunity. AD was missing shots. They missed a big three. It simply came down to making shots in that last 2 minutes, and one team didn't. It was a very close game. I think, again, these two teams, and the Lakers, if you want to say a good loss, if you want to account for that, with no D'Lo, again, this is a game that they look like they can beat them. The late game execution just simply was not there. But there'll be games where it is, and the shot making will go the other way around. So I'm not too worried. I think, again, the Lakers look good and have a shot. But it just came down to a couple shots that the Denver made and the Lakers did in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and like I don't mind AR going for that still. I think you got to take risks, but yeah, I agree with you too. Like this comes down to, I think Jamal Murray was cooking in that fourth quarter, and then like Michael Porter as well hit some big threes as well. So I just think the better team won. I don't really think it was.
We gonna address something in the chat, man.
Well, what happened?
Hold on, I really got it, because the chat just be going off talking about that, the jersey ceremony, who wasn't there and who was. Okay, on a day when the late great Kobe Bryant, his statue is being unveiled. We're celebrating it, remembering the good times. Y'all in the chat, people on Twitter, we got clowns out there making videos. LeBron disrespected one of the GOATs because he didn't show up to a ceremony. Let's understand this. One, there's a game. We understand what happened in Shaq's retirement ceremony. Kobe Bryant stayed in the locker room because he wanted to win the game and get ready for that second half. LeBron, the way he takes care of his body before a game at his age, he probably had things to do. And two, maybe also the reason why he didn't want to go in there, because he wanted to keep the focus and attention on Kobe Bryant. Because if he shows up there we're going to be doing, there's going to be a camera in his face, and they'll be like, oh, the same people in the chat, same people making videos, they'll be like, oh, look at LeBron's face when the statue was unveiled. Look at LeBron's face. Was he smiling or coughing when Phil Jackson was making the speech? Every little thing that man does, y'all were going to criticize. So all you clowns out there who on the day we celebrate Kobe Bryant want to make it a story about LeBron not being there, y'all absolute clowns. He lives in y'all heads rent-free. Y'all are jokes. Stop it. It's a joke. He didn't want to be there to respect Kobe Bryant, to keep the attention on him. That's how a grown man does it. Y'all little kids bothered that a grown man did not show up there for whatever reason it was. Stop it. Man, continue, Ron.
What's that, Joe?
Clown alert. Clown alert.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The amount of videos talking about LeBron disrespect, this and that, like, it's such a joke. It's just a joke at this point.
All right. It sounds like Draylen addressed everybody that needed to be addressed. I'm gonna move along with some more super chats. Hunter said there's no team in the NBA that can beat the Nuggets in clutch time situations. That's why nobody will beat them when it gets gritty in the playoffs.
I didn't watch the game last night, but what I do know is that two-man action between Jamal Murray and Joker is almost impossible to defend, especially when Jamal Murray is hitting that mid-range, and him and Joker playing off each other. It's almost impossible to deal with. Not only that, why can't we just accept sometimes? I don't mean all the time. How about we can't just accept sometimes that the other guy is just better? And Joker is better than Anthony Davis. He's just better, unfortunately.
I did like AD. I did like AD being aggressive though, going at him.
Absolutely.
I did like that from AD. Hey, Chilltown, when it comes to the Nuggets though, what poison do you pick? If you're the coach, and it's the fourth quarter, it's like 6 minutes in the game. You know what I'm saying? We're down 3, but we're making a run. What poison do you pick?
I'll pick Jamal Murray. I'd much rather have the ball in Jamal Murray's hands than Joker hands, because I feel like when the ball is in Joker hands, something good is going to happen, no matter what it is. I can almost guarantee that with Jamal Murray, he's probably going to get a tough shot and he can make it. But with Joker, something good is going to happen when he has the basketball and the meat and potatoes of the game. So if I got to pick between those two, I'd much rather get the ball in Jamal Murray's hands and take my chances with him than with Joker.
Jamal's tough shot making against the Lakers, whether it's this season, the playoff series, even the one in the bubble, like his tough shot making is incredible. Like the amount of fadeaways, like you said, step back threes that he consistently makes in these spots is incredible. Like it's just incredibly consistent. Doesn't make any sense. But he hits
many guys.
But do you think? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No,
I'm thinking about the guys in the league. We actually had this conversation. I don't think I can name 10 tough shot makers better than Jamal Murray in the league today. I don't think I can name them. And there's a lot of tough shot makers, but I don't think I can name 10 tough shot makers better than Jamal Murray. I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, if you feel like he was snubbed from All-Star.
No.
He
doesn't play that well during every game that consistently. A bit of the Jimmy Butler effect. Like, he's a good player, but he's not playing better than SGA, Luka, Steph during the regular season. He's just not. So the All-Star thing is, he'll always be that guy who probably doesn't rack up, the big All-Star nods. But in the playoffs, and especially like late in the fourth, even the shot making isn't always there in the first or second. Like when you talk about a big moment guy, he consistently shows up in those big moments.
Will, you believe he was snubbed?
Nah, not too much. But I think that there was an argument for him. Like if somebody did want to make one, but I didn't think he was snubbed.
And
I was curious what you guys were thinking.
If you were to say he would be on, who would come off?
Ooh,
I think it's only one glaring name.
I think everybody in the West deserved to make it, though. Like, I don't really know who I would take off.
So you don't want to say he deserves it over Steph? I got it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would only be Steph or AD, and it will only be because of records.
So if that's the case, then I was about to call him Marvitas. But if that's the case, then DeMontis need to be on the All-Star team, too.
But then who do you take off for him?
Anthony Davis.
AD? Okay.
Oh, my God. Do you guys know the type of protesting it will be across America, maybe even across the world, if Anthony Davis and Steph Curry were left off that All-Star roster?
Ron, just so you know.
Sometimes you need protests, Ron, and not always peaceful.
In fact, that's what a protest is, right? More times than not. Ron, I don't know if you know this, but I think over the last 6 games, Sabonis is 18, 17, and 8. Ron, that's almost 20 and 20.
No, it's credible. He's been playing incredible.
That's almost 20 and 20. He leads the league in double doubles. They're a top 5 seed in the West. I challenge you to tell me what an all-star is if that's not it.
We slipped though. When it happened, we were the 5th or 4th seed. We slipped. We 7 right now. As of this morning,
7.
We 7.
I'm sorry, as of like a week ago.
Right.
But question: why does where your team's standing really matter for if you should be an all-star or not?
But this is the thing, Will. It doesn't. It's not. I'm not saying that lower seeds shouldn't have all stars. They just shouldn't have multiple all stars. I think having multiple all stars should be reserved for those top 6 seeds. You know what I mean?
I know that's fair. That's fair.
But usually the top seed has 2 or 3. We've seen cases 4. But yeah, they definitely have. The top seed usually has 2 guys, maybe even 3. So it definitely matters in the all star. Like I said, but the Lakers getting 2 in their positioning. Obviously, LeBron's getting voted in. Just the nature of the beast. And with 80 of the individual talent, I get why he's there. I'm not mad. Like if you have some bonus over him, I'm not mad at it with the logic. But it's just one of those things that because LeBron was voted in, and 80 individual talent, it's just kind of.
I think that's uncontrollable though. A guy getting voted in. I mean, LeBron's still the face of the league. Everybody wants to see him. So I think didn't he get the most votes? Or was it him or Giannis who got the most votes out of everybody? I think it was
LeBron.
I think James got the most votes in the Western Conference. I think Giannis may have gotten the most overall votes of everybody. But with that being said, I mean, he's going to be a part of the All-Star game. As long as he's playing the way he's playing and as long as he's around, he's going to be a part of the All-Star game. This Anthony Davis, is he playing like an All-Star this year? Absolutely he is. Yeah. So is Sabonis. And I'm not a fan of, and I've heard this before, the idea of expanding the roster. No, we're not expanding the roster. Pick the right people. It's that simple. Pick the right people. There are people that are on the roster that shouldn't be on the roster. I said this to you before, Ron. We got one guy over the last 5 years who averaged 27 and 10 and didn't make the All-Star team. That's Trae Young. No other guard in the league averaged 27 and 10, did not make the All-Star team. Trae Young's the only guy. That's it.
Fellas, I got a few super chats pertaining to the Lakers and the Nuggets again. And then I got some good all-star stuff that I do want to get into because the 3-point contest participants were revealed. The dunk contest participants were revealed. And there was some things that happened with the Rising Stars game that I got to talk to you guys about. And I want to hear you guys' predictions on who's going to win that. Before we do that, I do want to encourage you guys to like the video. And I want to shout out all of our new members. Welcome to the Players' Choice family. You guys are family. MP13 said, Lakers got Jokic to have turnovers and shoot less than 65% from the field just to expose their lack of sets at the end of the game. I don't see sets they can spam to produce quality looks regularly.
Well, when we get into the meat and potatoes of the game, I mean, I've X and O'd you for as long as I possibly can. At this point, go get me a bucket. Go get me a bucket. It's not like they don't know what we're running. The same thing we was running in the second quarter, we running it in the fourth quarter. And it was working in the second quarter. Maybe you picked up your defense a little bit, but that's why your better players get you buckets. A prime example would be Minnesota. Minnesota runs action where in the fourth quarter, you got Anthony Edwards on the block, on the right block. He gets a down screen. He comes off the screen to get the basketball. Rudy comes over, slips the screen, and dives to the rim. That leaves Anthony Edwards one-on-one on the wing. That's their play in the meat and potatoes of the game to get him isolated. That's what they run. We run that in the second quarter too. So it's not like we're coming up with a whole bunch of different schemes and a whole bunch of different sets. When we get late in the game, when we get into the meat and potatoes of games, go get me a bucket.
Do you think that's a flaw in coaching? Because I understand what you're saying. When basically with the last 2 minutes, all the plays go out the window. It's get it to your best guy. Everyone clear out. They hold the ball. They figure it out. Go get him some bucket. But I feel like, any like Greg Popovich team, when they went on their 20-year run, they still ran sets in that, in the last 2 minutes. It wasn't just give the ball to Tony or Manu or Duncan, get out the way. They still ran their plays.
But they're not running anything different, though, Jalen. They're not running anything
the same
different.
thing.
The same thing that we're running, like the sets that we're running in the fourth quarter to get Tony Parker the ball, to run action with Tim Duncan. We were running that in the second quarter. We're not running anything new. They know what we're running.
Yeah, I just feel like, do you think it would be better offense if they still ran a play versus get the ball? Because even with the Nuggets, like that Laker execution was get the ball to Jokic, he'll look around, nothing was there, hand off to Jamal Murray, holds the ball, hit a big shot. Like that was literally their fourth quarter offense. It wasn't
That's what they do.
Movement. That's what they do, 100%. What I'm saying is, do you think it'd be better if they actually ran, the plays that they ran the second or third quarter during that Laker execution?
Well, if you look at what they have done in the fourth quarter, late in fourth quarters, Denver, more times than not, it works. So you stick with what's working. And if that stuff works, There's no reason to stop doing it. There's no reason to stop doing it. So,
Chat, I'm running a poll right now. I'm asking, do the Nuggets have the best two-man game in the NBA right now? You guys go over there and vote and let me know.
I think that you have to say yes because they just won a chip.
With that two-man game.
Yeah, like with that two-man game, man. I think like Jamal Murray, he perfectly complements Jokic, especially like because you see like all the time, like Jokic, he has the ball like top of the key. He hands it off to Murray, sets a screen. It's almost like every single time. And I think there's just nothing that teams can do to stop it. Because then even if you collapse and you leave the corners open, then you got Michael Porter Jr. in there. So like those two guys, that two-man game, it just draws so much attention that I think it benefits the rest of their team. So considering that they won a chip as well, you have to say that they're the best as of right now.
Greg sent through a super chat and said, I'm done with the Nets. Sean Mark said the plan is to try and attract a star in the next 3 to 4 years. He also said Mikal Bridges isn't in his prime yet and is super young. I was only okay with KD and Kyrie trade because I expected a rebuild.
Hey, look, man, I'm a Nets fan. So you know, like I'm a Nets fan. So I'm really not trying to cry here, like on my first time, but it's just been tough, man. You know, I think going from KD, Kyrie, James Harden to now what we have at this current moment is just real heartbreaking, man. I don't know what the front office is trying to do. We have a team full of just very good role players. And I like Bridges, but I'm not sure if he's a number one option in terms of being able to lead us anywhere but a first round exit, if I'm gonna be honest. But it's tough times, man, and it's not many of us Nets fans around. So, you know, like if there's anybody in the chat, you drop some love.
Oh, no, it's a few in the chat. It's a few sad people out there.
That's what I like to hear.
So what happened, Will, and I think the same thing happened to you as what happened with Chicago Bulls. When the Chicago Bulls signed Lonzo Ball, that unit was predicated on him. That was going to take the ball out of Zach LaVine's hand. I was going to take the ball out of DeMar DeRozan's hands, and those guys were going to be more potent on the wings. He was going to be their point of attack defender. He was going to be their distributor. That was going to get Vooch more involved. Their rotation guys were going to be better, and it was going to be predicated on him. When he broke down, that threw a monkey wrench in everything that they were doing. Well, the same logic goes on with your Brooklyn Nets, because Ben Simmons was your point of attack defender. He was going to be your distributor. He was going to be your downhill guy. Of course, you're not going to get 20 a game from him or anything like that. But this team was going to be predicated on defense with Ben Simmons at the point of attack, Mikal Bridges, and Claxton. So when Ben Simmons goes down, that throws a monkey wrench in everything that you guys are doing. Compound that with Cam Thomas wasting away on the bench. You have no idea exactly what you're doing with him. 1 minute, he plays 35 minutes and he's 30 a game. And then the next, you can't get him in the lineup. So I'm that part I'm a little in the dark about. But the other part, that's what it seemed like it was with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, I mean, like, my main issue is that we gave Jacques Vaughn the head coaching job when Ime Udoka was available. Now, I understand what happened in Boston, but considering that now Udoka is on the Rockets, that's who I would have wanted. I think that maybe, like those guys would have possibly stayed. But I understand like what you're saying. I still do believe in Ben Simmons. I know a lot of people don't. That's my guy. I'm not giving up on him. And I just know, look, it's like,
Ron, why am I ridiculous when I say that? But when he say it, it's legit. But when I say it, I'm ridiculous when I say it.
Wait, chill. You a Ben Simmons guy?
Why am I? Yo, we talking about an all-pro, all-league defender.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody tries to discount him because they say that he fakes injuries, etc.
What are we doing?
Yo, Ben Simmons is a very good player. Like, don't get this confused. And I do have a controversial take. I think Ben is a better version of Draymond Green, in my opinion, if he's healthy. But to me, Ben Simmons, you see when he comes back from injury, whenever he does get to play, that Nets team, they move the ball a lot faster. They look better in transition. He's also one of the best defenders in the NBA. He's a skill, like he's a matchup issue. I think a lot of people just like to run with the media narrative and they like to make jokes online and get a lot of likes, retweets, etc. But Ben Simmons is not as bad as everybody wants to make him out to be.
He ain't.
And trading him would have been a mistake. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, Will, I'm not gonna lie. If the certain couple things didn't happen to Ben Simmons in the media and it just didn't become a frenzy, nobody would be hating on Ben Simmons and nobody would be talking down on Ben Simmons. And it's just like the shot situation happened where he probably should have laid the ball up. And then he had some off the court things that happen. He didn't handle some certain situations right. And on top of that, the biggest thing is he just has not been healthy. If Ben Simmons was healthy like the last 2 years, nobody would be paying too much attention to him. He would be a triple-double threat every night. He would be one of the better defenders in the league. He would still be a decent point guard. I think Ben Simmons would be, it wouldn't be too much hate on him.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think if Ben was healthy when we first traded for him, when we gave them James Harden, I think Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, that's a championship level big three. I don't care what anybody says, but it's just the online narrative. And for everybody that's laughing at Ben, laughing at the Nets, I just want to say that out of the two teams in New York, the Brooklyn Nets are the only one that have actually swung for the fences and have tried to bring a championship to this state. Come on, let's be honest here. The Knicks have been rebuilding my entire life. I've never seen them actually be a legit threat.
5 straight years.
Except this year. Now.
I don't think they're a legit threat this year either. We already talked about that. Come on, Jalen.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
Nah, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Makes sense. We got him, Chill.
There it is.
Hey, Chill, we got his ass.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
It.
Nah, come on. Okay, here's your question. Do any of you guys live in like the New York area?
I'm from Jersey, born and raised.
Okay.
I'm from right on the other. I'm from right on the other side of the river, born and raised.
Cool. You guys know, and even if you're not from the New York area, you guys know how annoying Knicks fans are. That's why I kind of brought up earlier on when we first started like talking about them was, yeah, they're doing decent right now, but it's just a level of ignorance that most Knicks fans have about where their franchise is just crazy. That's all.
They're worse. 100%.
They're terrible.
I can't. I won't go as far as Cowboy fans, but they in the same neighborhood. They don't live in the same house, but they definitely in the same neighborhood. 100%.
Look, and that's all I'm saying is, can somebody tell me what have the Knicks done to actually go for a chip? I get it this year. They have a nice roster. But when's the last time the Knicks were a legit threat and that people said, yeah, we expect them to make the Eastern Conference Finals minimum? When's the last time?
In 2000.
Yeah, I was going to say like late 90s.
I was like 2. Yeah. I don't even remember that.
The Carmelo era, they had that 151 season.
They weren't serious.
They were serious. Yeah,
they weren't serious.
Yeah, we know they were serious.
The Knicks are in the biggest market in America, and they can't attract anybody. They got to make trades. Nobody want to play for them.
All I know is
we just got to be honest.
5 straight 50-loss seasons. 5 of them straight. Wow. I just want to make sure we clear on that. Meanwhile, they still in the top 10 in the league in attendance.
I get all that. But we're not going to act like the Brooklyn Nets have been some championship team. Look, they made some big trades.
But Will's point is he's actually. But the difference is Will's point is we actually put in the application for the CEO spot.
That's Will's point. I hear you.
Will ain't just sitting outside the CEO office going, damn, what do I do to get in here? No, he actually banging on the door going, this is my application. Can I have a job?
That's true. But then every time you pass the first round of interviews, but the second interview, you out of here. After that second interview, they've been out of here.
But Jalen, we tried. But we tried. What have the Knicks done?
Hey, you get participation medal. I feel you. That's cool. Trying is great, but it still hasn't got the job done.
No, and I understand. And don't get it confused. I understand what my franchise is because we're poverty as well. But at least we're not trying to be poverty. We swung for the fences. And even if you want to laugh like at the KG and like Paul Pierce trade, yeah, that's terrible. But again, we're showing ambition. The Knicks have not shown me anything my entire life.
Well, that's not true though, because signing Jalen Brunson, which was a steal, 100%. They straight underpaid for him. That was a steal. Nobody was talking about. There was a huge uproar like when Julius Randle signed with the Knicks. What? That was the best you could do? Was Julius Randle? Meanwhile, this team now is starting to make some noise.
But I'm still saying that about Julius Randle.
Right? Do I think they could win the NBA championship? No, I don't. Do I think they could compete for it? I think that they can compete.
But what's the definition of competing for it then?
I think that they could get to the Eastern Conference Championship. I think that they can do that. I don't think they can get to the NBA Finals. I don't.
But Will, you said they haven't done anything your whole life. I mean, they brought Amari through. They brought Melo through. You know what I'm saying? Early 2010s. They was trying. They was trying to make a run.
Nah, that didn't move me, bro.
They had 5 different coaches.
That didn't move me. It's like I saw those. Look, like Melo was there. It was Amari Stoudemire, and we were still sleeping.
That didn't move
5 different coaches.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, I will say, be careful with your next few takes and whatnot, because first off, it looks like the pendulum may have swung, and it looks like the Knicks are trying to make power moves, and you guys are waiting 3 to 4 years for another star. But who knows? We'll have to see.
They actually got one on their bench.
Cam Thomas is, I think he has that potential.
Unleash Cam Thomas, free Cam Thomas.
They got one on their bench.
Also, Will, MP13 said, I see what this is. First time on here, and we are going to say hot takes to make an impression.
Wow.
I can respect it. Is that what's going on?
Nah, bro, look, everything that I say, I stand on it. Like, this is, like, I'm always somebody that my opinions, like, it's never hot takes. It's just I usually do tend to have an unpopular opinion, but, how people want to take it.
Listen, man, my grandmother told me when I was a kid, if we agree on everything, one of us shouldn't be here.
Right.
Will, you only got a couple more minutes, right?
I'm not even too sure. So it's like whatever you guys want to do.
Okay, well, with that being said, I think it's probably the best time right now, since we're talking about hot takes and unpopular opinions, for us to hear your top 10.
You know what's crazy? I don't even have a top 10. No, bro. See,
well, don't freeze up now.
No, I'm not freezing up. But the thing is, it's just so weird to like rank positions into one list. So all that I know is that Bron's the GOAT. Whoever you guys like want to put
this boy already. I like you already.
Whoever you guys want to put after Bron, then that's cool. But as long as we understand who's the GOAT, then it's
this man is smart. This man, see, Ron, start bringing more smart people up here. You see what's happening? We got some intelligent.
But we gotta give Jordan some credit though, right? Because he's the GOAT when it comes to sneakers. For sure, because I'm not.
We have to give Jordan some credit. That's what
I'm not rocking Bron when I go out. You feel me? Bron doesn't have.
No, Chilton. He said we have to give Jordan some credit. You heard that?
Yo, what?
Jordan.
Yo, hold on. First off, chat, I just want to acknowledge that we have a whole top row of Bron Glazers. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
We have a whole top row of high IQ, intelligent, basketball mind-thinking individuals.
Jalen, I have a question for them. Yeah. What was MJ doing at 39? After 2 breaks. What was he doing?
He was on the Wizards.
Somewhere smoking cigars, playing golf or something.
Oh, man.
He was chilling. Yeah, he was chilling.
Hey, enjoying his life because he didn't have to add no more to his legacy. All right.
He got it done and bounced.
He came back with the Wizards, did his thing.
Hey, young fella, you don't want me to tell you what Jordan was doing at that age. I can't say it right now. All right. He was on his 3rd or 4th victory lap. All right.
Look, Jordan just couldn't, Jordan didn't necessarily put in the effort, training, took care of his body right to play that long. It is what it is. He's still great what he did, but he didn't do what LeBron can do.
Let's move on, Ron, for they piss me off.
Jordan is phenomenal, greatest scorer ever. Like, I give credit to Jordan. What he did is phenomenal. Like, I'm not discrediting Jordan. It's phenomenal, but he couldn't, again, smoking the amount of cigars he did, drinking, doing what he did. It wasn't, late nights at the casinos wasn't going to help play 20, 21 years straight like that.
Hey, you do know all that longevity stuff is cool and whatnot until you realize that LeBron played 6 more seasons than Jordan, and Jordan could have played all of those seasons up until 40.
I mean, he could have, but didn't.
No, absolutely. No, for sure. I'm just saying, what do records and stats and all of that look like if Jordan did happen to just be like, you know what, this is too easy for me. I don't have to keep trying because I'm getting to the finals and getting knocked out by a light-skinned boy with green eyes.
I mean,
what do those numbers then look like?
Sure, he would have more counting stats. He would have more. He would have more counting stats. He still would have lost to the Houston Rockets and the Hakeem Olajuwon.
MVP,
he would have had a loss in the finals.
But
hold on though. What would have happened if Jordan played in the '80s when there was a high?
Jalen, I don't care. I don't care what somebody said. I don't care what somebody said in some interview. They would have won 8 straight, Jordan. Jalen. Sure, Jalen. I love Hakeem. Mm-hmm. I love Hakeem. I don't care about people in interviews saying, "Oh, we didn't have nothing for Hakeem." This and that. That's just showing love. That's what hoopers do. When they respect each other, they do that for each other. That's cool. But the Rockets were not beating the Bulls.
Oh, and you know what? That's fine. That's fine. You have that opinion. That's fine. If I have the other opinion, that's fine. But guess what? It's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda, ifs. We talking about what they did. We talking about what happened. Not what could have been. What should have been. If no, but what happened was he won, took a break, came back. lost to the Magic, which people need to forget, won the next 3. He was phenomenal. 80s, dominated scoring-wise, was probably the best player in the league from 86 on, even when he was still losing. He was still the best player in the league, and I'm going to give him that. But LeBron's still better.
Ball DeMar DeRozan.
But that, see, I ain't gonna say that. See, I'm not disrespecting.
Hey, Ron, send him to hell, Ron. Send him to hell, Ron.
I ain't doing that. I'm not about. I'm not.
Hell, Ron.
I'm gonna show love to Jordan. I'm gonna show love to Jordan.
Nah, man, Mac Jordan is the GOAT. Just off the fact of the longevity.
It's not even just RJ. That's a factor, right? We can understand there's so many variables.
I can dig that though. I respect the longevity. Like for some players, it has a negative effect. For Bron, it's boosted his legacy, being able to play this long and still to be as great as he's been. Like I'm definitely not gonna hate on that. Like longevity, I think should factor into it.
I'll tell you this: the people who hate on longevity, the people who hate on longevity are just people who have never been great at anything in their life. There are people who make those New Year's resolutions about let me eat healthier, go to the gym, do this or that, and then quit 20 days in. People don't understand what it takes to be focused, to put your mind, body on the line for something, whether that's a job, career-wise, whether that's at the gym, food or whatever it is. You know how much effort? Anybody can have a good day and do what you need to do. But it's the days that you have a bad day, you want to stay in bed, but you still go out and do what you do. That's what separates greatness from regular people. And that's what LeBron has done. The days when his body was or whatever.
The flu, game 6. You get out of bed.
For sure, 100%.
You let your team know that have no fear. The GOAT is here. Mm-hmm. And you go out there and
he did his thing.
And then you got to get carried off the court.
Yes, you do. 100%, Ron. I fight that. Just like when you're in the NBA Finals and your body locks up and you can hardly run and you hit a 3 to ice the game in the NBA Finals. And then you are basically walking off the court. So, I mean, I've never in my lifetime heard people talk about people bad for doing something good for a long time. I've never heard that before. Where do you get criticized for being awesome for a long time? Yo, that's just longevity. What? I've been working somewhere for 25 years. You've been working here for 25 years. So when the hell has that been a bad thing?
Chill.
That's some people that don't realize they're gonna get old one day. The young boys that think, oh, you're 28, you're ancient. So the young boys that don't realize they're gonna be in their 60s if they're blessed enough. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be 60
it's a beautiful thing to reach 67 years old. You know what I'm saying? So with people that don't realize, like, if you're blessed enough, you'll get a patch of gray too. You know what I'm saying? So they're the ones that are like, oh, you've been doing it forever. Like, yeah, that's a good thing.
It's a lot of 19-years in the chat who just don't
understand. Take care of yourself. You know
they don't understand. It's a lot of 19-years.
You are not going to be 19 forever. I promise you that. You're going to be 25 one day. Then you're going to be 30 one day. Then you're going to be 35 one day. Then you're going to turn around and you're going to see the clock and you're going to be 50 and you're still doing it. So
look, right now, all you in the chat, 19-year-olds, you can eat your McDonald's and probably go run a mile, go sprint, go play basketball, do all that. You can do that. Wait, have a conversation maybe 8 years when you start having some knee pain, maybe have some lower back pain, whatever the case is. It's going to be different. You got to take care. It's different.
When do you guys think Bron retires, though? Because the way that he's playing right now, 39, it looks like he can go probably till like 45, for being honest.
I don't think he wants to play that long, to be honest with you. I don't. I think he's waiting on his boy, who clearly isn't ready, but I think he's waiting on his boy. I think he plays another year, 2 years tops, and I think he's gone.
Which boy, Bryce or Bronny? Because it can't be Bronny. Bronny is.
I don't think he's waiting on Bryce, because Bryce is. It's going to. Even though I think Bryce could be better than Bronny.
Oh,
but
Will.
Will's
about to get nasty right now.
The ill thing about Bronny is I actually think Bronny can be a pro. The problem that we having is we're rushing him. He's not ready.
I'm not gonna lie, but chill. Bronny got to do like 6 years in college.
No, he doesn't.
Crazy. 6 is
He
crazy.
doesn't.
Bronny is not.
He just has to do more than one. You wouldn't be talking this way about him, Will, if his name wasn't LeBron James Jr.
No, but his thing though.
If he was the starting point guard on a team in the Pac-12 as a freshman, not as a junior or a senior, but as a freshman, you wouldn't be talking like this about him. He just got there. Get a dude some time. Get this dude the time. Get some time to be better. We expect him to be as nice as his father. I am not that good, and I'm never going to be that good.
Wait, chill. Ever. But you just made a good point. You said that if his name wasn't Bronny James, I wouldn't be talking about like that. That's the point. We wouldn't be talking about him if his name was Nick Smith putting up the numbers that he is at USC. we wouldn't know him.
It's
Because
Bron's
who
fault.
that is.
Bron the one out here talking about he could play for us right now. No, like
Which he
that's
can't.
Bron need to stop
Which he
doing that.
can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Which
Like
he can't.
if he would stop saying stuff like that, we would like the people would allow his son to develop. I don't have a problem with Bronny. I've seen Bronny improve every single year that I knew. Like ever since I knew who he was as far as playing basketball, he's improved every single year. I don't have any reason to think he won't. People are so caught up in that one and done. They think if you don't go one and done, then you're a bum. If you're not one and done, then you suck. That's not how the real world works. If Bronny keeps improving, he could for sure be a pro. Not this year. He shouldn't be in this draft. Probably not the next draft, but let him play 3 years of college ball. He might be able to come be a role player in the league. I mean, you shaking your head like you can see the future. The kid has improved and improved and improved.
He needs to come.
Will, that's the point that you just brought up. If he was Nick Smith, we wouldn't be talking about him like this.
Yeah.
But maybe next year we might start talking about him a little bit more because he got better, and then the next year after that, we may start talking about him a little bit more because he got better. Like, wait a minute, this kid might be a pro. He looks like he's on his way to being that. He's not there yet. He is.
And I have to step in. I'm sorry, Ox. I have to step in simply because, Will, unfortunately, we're going to have to catch up with you next time. But when we do catch up with you, we're going to fully get into this whole Bronny thing because you guys don't even know what Will really, really feels and has to say about Bronny. But I do. Also, too, when you come back, we need that top 10. We need it.
I got
but
you.
We'll catch up with you soon. Can you let the people know where they can find you at and where you do most of your good work at?
Shout out to you guys. Definitely appreciate the opportunity. But you guys can follow me or find me Will Talk Sports on YouTube and Will X Gregs on Instagram. But shout out to you guys, man. Appreciate it.
Chill, Will.
Hold on, Will.
Let him get it on.
Ron, so you gonna let him leave and come back and do the top 10?
It's like
he
that.
said he don't got the top 10.
Man, we'll get the top 10.
Yeah.
You know basketball. Where your top 10 at?
Hey, Will. Think of your top 10 and you gonna come back and let us hear it. All right. And I'm here for the whole Bronny.
I want him to get the Bronny thing off because I disagree much. Why can't he get it off now?
Will, you live to fight another day, all right? Because Damo is ready to rip you to shreds.
Ron always saving somebody.
That's what I'm saying, man. This is crazy.
Hey, Damo, pass that.
I ain't even met young boy yet. You already protecting him? Like, damn. Like, let me hear what he talking about.
No bullying, Damo. No bullying.
Nah, man. Bullying in the 90s is what made us men. But we'll leave that alone, though. We'll leave that alone. But look, though, they in the chat saying that, you don't think a dad should hype his son. That's crazy. There's a difference between hyping your son and then just lying to him so he can, like, you're just lying. Like, there's a difference between hyping. If my sons ain't no good at basketball, I'm not gonna go around talking about, oh yeah, my son about to go play at Washington State, or he's gonna go play at Cal Berkeley. Like, nah, I'm gonna be real. The kid plays hard.
This kind of stuff, Ox, is the reason
you know
why
what I'm saying. He plays hard, and he plays hard, and I love him. You know.
What you see, Big Ox, is what you see on American Idol. That's why those people, when Simon tells them that you suck, that's why they crush, because they got no friends, nobody that's being honest with them, that's not telling them the truth. Go out there and tell that dude, yo, you better than these dudes on the Lakers right now. And then you go out there and you get ran over. Like, don't send me out there if I'm whack, yo. Don't do that to me. If you care about me, don't do that to me, yo.
I don't think he's whack, and I definitely don't think.
I don't think he's whack neither, Damo. I just don't think he's pro-ready.
Hold on. Do I think that he can go and start for a team in the NBA right now, as of now? No, I don't. No. Do I think he can be on the NBA roster? Absolutely. I actually do. I think Bronny can be a 15th man with a two-way somewhere.
Damo.
Yes, I do think he can do that.
Even if that's true, that's not the point. His father isn't waiting on him to be the 15th man. That's not what he's waiting on. He's actually waiting on him to play with him. And the 15th man is not going to play. That's not the point.
Fellas,
I don't think he's even 15th. I think he needs another season. Or two.
I think he can make a roster. He doesn't need another season. I can understand it, to get the numbers up to be a better draft pick. He doesn't need another 2 years. Unless you're just looking for numbers. There's multiple things you can look at from a draft prospect. You can look at their numbers that they're putting up to let that and think that can replicate in the pros, or you can look at what they actually do, their physicals, how they actually compete, that type of stuff in order what makes him a pro. It is very obvious that Bronny, at no point in his career is he going to peak as a guy I feel is going to give you 15 to 20 points, a guy that's going to be a second, third option on the team. No. Bronny to me is going to be I don't think so. Regardless of, he genuinely might be a role player. To me, he looks like a lesser Lonzo Ball, probably with more defense, and hopefully can stay healthy.
Is it seeing Caldwell Pope? Is it seeing Caldwell Pope?
Probably with more defense than Lonzo Ball.
His defense is actually really good, but Lonzo Ball's defense is really good.
It's not better than Lonzo Ball.
Potentially.
Yeah,
Lonzo Ball coming out of college, people were not harping on his defense. Defense was not something that was attributed to Lonzo coming into the NBA.
And he got better.
He shocked people his first year. From day one, he was playing great defense. He shocked people with his defense. So yes, Lonzo, as of now, tremendous defender. Bronny's defense is touted now. Even after the Hart thing, even he is regarded as one of the guys, he can actually defend for a guy his size. He's a solid defender now. So I can only imagine what improvement looks like. So I see a lesser Lonzo, a guy that's going to shoot an open three, pass and make the right plays, try to win, play winning basketball, and play a little bit better defense. Now, if that's not lesser Lonzo Ball, if that's Gary Payton II with a three-point shot, then okay, cool. Go with that. I'm just giving you a player.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. That's a role player.
I can get with that one. We can't downplay Lonzo Ball.
What do you mean?
Big up Bronny, because Bronny was playing. Lonzo was playing D at UCLA.
You're talking to somebody that literally watched him from his sophomore year up until he was a Laker. I wanted him to be a Laker. I read the scouting report. I watched him. Even me, I was like, he's leaving school, but that was not something that was brought up with him going to the league. No one talked about his defense. Even people that liked him wasn't talking about his defense. Like that.
That's cool. That's cool. I don't know what they was talking about. I'm talking about what I saw. I thought he played good. I thought he was playing defense at UCLA.
But I still said a lesser Lonzo Ball. I think he has the potential to have better defense, though. But that's how good of a defender I think Bronny's going to be. But that's just me.
I like Bronny. I just don't think he's ready yet.
Fellas, DSG Piccolo sent a super chat and said, I'm back here to say that Chauncey Billups needs to be fired.
Break up the Pistons. Break them up.
He can't lose last night's game like that. I don't care that half the team is injured. These Bronze fans being nasty up here, Ron. I got Bron at 2, though. Dub longevity.
Break up the Pistons. Break them up.
How did they lose? I did not watch the Portland-Detroit game. I'm sorry, I did not watch the Portland-Detroit game.
They go to Sacramento and win. Then they go to Portland and win. Break up the Pistons. They making that playoff. They making that play-in run.
Did anyone watch that game? Like, how did they lose? Did Chauncey actually do something bad? Or I don't think anyone watched the Portland-Detroit game. I just don't think that's.
I know Jalen Duren had 20 and 20 last night.
Jalen Duren is a truth, though. Jalen Duren is
I do know that. So,
Jalen Duren had 27 and 22. Jaden Ivey followed up a 40-point outing, or 36. He had 36, 37 against
37. It was 37.
He followed up 37 with 26. Cunningham came with 23. So the Pistons did play well as a unit. Marcus Sasser off the bench had 17 and 11. As for the Trailblazers, Jeremy Grant went ballistic. Had 49 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists.
49.
The quietest 49 points that you'll ever hear about. Shout out Jeremy Grant.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
1 point away from 50. I did not hear nothing. That's crazy.
Didn't hear nothing about it because no one's checking in for what they consider bad basketball teams. I get it. You see 2 bad records you don't want to watch, but you miss out a lot of good hoop. This is still pro ball. You can have the 2 worst teams record-wise in the NBA or 2 of the worst deemed teams. That is still professional basketball being played out there. It's still, despite what you think, it's still some good hoops. I was going to watch that game, but sadly, the Lakers did what I thought they were going to do. What I knew they were going to do. I told you, and I'm mad Mars ain't here because I said it was going to happen. Everybody tried to give me these janky old, they 5-1 in the jerseys. They 5-1 in the jerseys, though, Damo. You don't know what you're talking about, Damo. I knew we were going to lose. I said it. I knew it. And we lost in Laker fashion. Make a nice comeback run just to get the door slammed in our faces. By who? Jokic and Jamal Murray yet again. We just can't beat these niggas. I'm not going to lie. We can't. We don't got nothing for them.
No, but Damo, it was a tie game with 2 minutes left. Don't you think it just came down to a couple shot making and with no deal?
We lost to them in the conference finals, Jalen. Every game felt like it was a tie game with 2 minutes left. And then every time Jokic or Murray, and then you get a little bit of help from MPJ, you get a nice play from Aaron Gordon, the role players role play. But every time Murray turns into, someone said it, Murray turns into 2016 Kyrie, and Jokic turns into the best center who ever plays every time they see us. We have nothing for it. I've never seen a team, and I'm like, I believe in my Lakers. When we're rolling, I'm like, we're a hard team to beat. We have nothing for the Nuggets at all. They have our number.
Just the
The
team.
Nuggets
that
might
if
be
you
in the
could
Lakers'
avoid-
heads. They might be in the
Yeah,
Lakers' heads.
they're a team that if you could avoid them in the playoffs, you might be able to make some noise.
I
If somebody else could deal with them, you could definitely make some noise.
Hey,
Because
the
I
Clippers.
don't think it's
Clippers
news.
could. The Clippers could.
I don't think it's news. I don't think it's news.
The Lakers can't beat the Clippers either, though, John. So how would that help?
That's not true. That's
I
not
don't know
true.
about that. I don't know about
We
that.
can beat the Clippers. We
Yeah,
can
they
beat the
can
Clippers.
definitely beat them.
We can beat any team, in my opinion. We can beat any team in the West except for the Nuggets. I don't know what it is. Like I like our chances. Like I can see us having a 6-7 game series with any of the top teams in the West. After, and I will have to check, but at a certain point, I would say we got in the playoff atmosphere if we're healthy. We got teams in 5 at a certain point, but a lot of the top teams, I see us beating them in 6 or 7. If it's the Nuggets, chop it up and go home. Like might as well.
Damo, how you feel about how you like a series against Minnesota?
I got us in 6.
How about Oklahoma City?
Got us in 6.
The Clippers.
Got us in 5, actually.
So you got to serve in Oklahoma City.
Oh yeah, I got to serve it. Okay. OKC don't got nothing. They're too small. They don't got nothing for us.
The Clippers.
7.
Phoenix.
Healthy Phoenix 7. If one of the big 3's missing, 6.
New Orleans.
5.
Sacramento.
5.
Dallas.
6.
So the only team standing in your way is Denver.
Only team in our way is Denver, in my opinion. In my opinion, only team in our way that I just don't see nothing for. Obviously, when I'm speaking of these other teams, I'm thinking of us healthy. I'm thinking of us at our best, healthy, peak for peak. 5, 6, 7, best case. The Nuggets, we don't got nothing for them.
So Damo, I got a question for you, and then it actually leads to another segment that we're about to get into. We got a couple of different things we got to get to in this next hour and 15 minutes. But I got to ask you, Damo, if the Nuggets are the only team in the league, and I know yesterday was the trade deadline, you were frustrated that you guys didn't do anything. So essentially what you're saying is you guys needed to make some moves essentially
to beat the Nuggets. Yes. Why do you think I'm sitting here saying we need a defensive guard? I'm saying give me Chris Dunn, give me any guard to play defense. Why? Because of number 27 on that team. When he starts playing, I seen him literally take that man, Austin Reeves, wherever he wanted on the court to get a bucket. Wherever he wanted to get a bucket on Reeves, he would get a bucket. Wherever he wanted to get a bucket on anybody, he was going to get a bucket. We need somebody specifically to stop Jamal Murray. It's a method to my madness, I swear. We don't need people are like, oh, but you're going to need somebody to be able to shoot. Oh, but what if he's offensive line? I don't care about none of that. If he can stop Jamal Murray,
so the closing issue isn't a problem. Not just the closing issue. The interior offense isn't a problem. The rotations aren't a problem because you still don't do anything consistently. That's my biggest issue with the Lakers. You don't do anything consistently. So one night you guys look like the best defensive team in the game, and then the next night you look like the Detroit Pistons. So I don't know what to do with that. So with that being said, this Laker team, sure, they could, like James said, we could beat anybody, and then on the next night we can get our ass kicked. That's realistic. So how about if in a perfect world, I don't know, Minnesota ends up dealing with Denver and bounces them? Who's now the favorites in the Western Conference?
In my opinion, us. What?
That's a little crazy. They're still OKC, Clippers.
I'm not OKC in the grand scheme, and I'm thinking OKC versus us. I love Chet. Chet is barbecue chicken. If we mess around and put 2 bigs out there, you telling me you're gonna have J-Dub? You're gonna have J-Dub guard one of our bigs rolling? I would love to see Christian Wood rolling with 6'5" power forwards on him.
J-Dub is cooking Christian Wood on the other end, though. J-Dub is giving Christian Wood all the work on the other end. If you put Christian Wood out there,
I promise you, outside of trying to deal with Shea and his free throws, if you think I would not love for them to try to beat us with J-Dub in the playoffs, please. I would love to see it. I'll live with it. I'd rather lose to J-Dub than Shea. I lose to J-Dub. That's like losing to an open Terrence Mann. You live with it. You live with it.
We understand who Jalen Williams is.
I'm not saying Jalen Williams is it. I'm not saying
wait, Jalen. This is
I'm just saying I would rather lose to J-Dub trying to cook Christian Wood. I would much rather bet a series on us trying to lose to them that way versus letting Shea cook us.
Hold on, Jalen. Hold on.
Shea and out big man in the Thunder. That's how you beat them.
See, Jalen, this is your typical Lakers fan. Because this is the same Damo. This is the same Damo. Hold on, Damo, because this is the same Damo that attacked me for saying J-Dub wasn't ready. I said J-Dub was a hell of a young player, but he's not ready. This is the same Damo that damn near cussed me out and called me everything under the sun because I said J-Dub wasn't ready. But now, Damo, you don't remember this episode?
No. I remember that. And what was the conversation in that episode? Because we both agreed that they weren't ready.
I said that the forwards on OKC weren't ready yet, and you were trying to tell me that.
And I said ready for what? Because me and Chill said this team is good enough to make the playoffs. No, it was either me and Chill or me and Mars saying this team is good enough to make the playoffs, but no one up here thinks they're ready to win a championship. So you kept saying, "Oh, they're not ready." I'm like, I agree. We all agree. We know they're not ready to win a championship. But my standpoint was, if you're telling me J-Dub, Isaiah Joe was another one I brought up and niggas scoffed at him. Those guys, the guys they have at forward, were good enough for them to be a team to make the playoffs and to show that last season wasn't a fluke. That is what that conversation was.
So Damo, but what I'm saying is now you're saying that Christian Wood is the guy that's gonna derail all J-Dub
in the playoffs. I'm not saying derail J-Dub. I'm saying again for J-Dub defending if he's going to play a 4, which I have been on here. Me and Chill have talked about this when it comes to the Thunder. They need another big because playing J-Dub at the 4 doesn't work. We've already said that. We've been talking about trade opportunities for the Thunder and said the next step for them is getting another big in there, trading Giddey. That's how me and Mars, every time he talks about bringing Giddey up, I say the same thing. I agree. Move J-Dub to the 3, get you another big because y'all are going to get out big by teams. Even though J-Dub doesn't seem like the smallest guy, he's just 6'6", 6'5". He's just stocky. I genuinely think that this is a nice team to get the playoffs. They will show last season wasn't a fluke. But in playoff time, we're talking about winning championships. We all agree this team wasn't good enough to win a championship. So, yes, I do think in a playoff setting, in a playoff atmosphere for a series, I think if they're going to rely on J-Dub to carry them in a series, I don't think that's going to be good enough for them to win. We agree.
Okay. I could dig that. Damo, I'm gonna finish up by saying this. I do think you were being a little Laker biased. I think you switched up a little bit there on your man J-Dub just for the sake of your Lakers. And now I just, you know what I'm saying? That's just typical Lakers. That's typical Laker fan stuff. I'm not mad at you. Yeah, you loyal to your squad, and I respect it.
Fellas, we got a few different super
y'all
chats.
sweeping OKC though. Go ahead.
I said 5 to be respectful.
MP13 said, I have a question for the panel. How many of you guys, if asked, can write down and explain your definite criteria for ranking your top 10? Most people can't do it if asked. And also then remain consistent with their list.
I could do it.
Do you guys have a criteria?
Are you asking us, or are you just saying what could we do if you asked us?
Yeah.
I think he's asking us too. I think most people, we all have criteria and what we value, and it just comes down to what we value as different. I think everyone has similar criteria. It's just what value placement you put on each criteria. Some people are going to value championships. Some people are going to value accolades. Some people are going to value statistics, longevity, peak. All those things matter. You know, basketball ability, skill set, all those things matter. It's just we allocate different values to each of those things.
I can easily write down my criteria. Personal bias. There you go. Personal bias based off what I believe at that moment in time, and is subject to change.
My criteria is who do I think is better? Who do I think is better?
I got a couple of different points. Number 1, is your game timeless? Number 2, did you dominate? Number 3, did you win? Number 4, did you transcend the game? Number 5, how impactful were you in society? When I come up with all 5 of those, my top 10 is James, Jordan, Jabbar, Chamberlain, Russell, Magic, Bird, Duncan, Olajuwon, Diesel. There you go.
I heavily value accolades, probably more than everybody up here. And I heavily value winning because I think winning and accolades shows how dominant you were in your time. And I think that matters a lot. If you're that great, then you should be winning championships and you should be dominating. You should be getting MVP. I know voting goes in MVPs, but if you're that great, for the most part, you'll be getting MVPs and things of that nature, scoring titles, or all of that good stuff that shows how great you are. If you're a dominant big man, rebounding titles, block awards. If you're a point guard, assist titles, things like that. You know, I think those things matter. If you get, if over your career you got 5 assist titles, it's like, no, this dude was really a dominant point guard and he really ran his era. So I think things like that matter, but also the eye test is big too. Once you strip all of that, how good really were you? And so it's put all of those in a pot and stir them together, and that's how you get my top 10.
I don't. The only reason I don't really put all NBA and stuff like that is because I never paid attention to who was all NBA. I never even paid attention to an all NBA team like that
I've always done that.
Until Player's Choice, bro. I didn't care about who was all NBA. I'm like, I can watch the game and see who I think the best players are. MVPs, a little bit. I don't really factor that in. I like the only player I could say in my top 10 that isn't, because I really value all around game. I want to see could you play offense, defense, could you do everything? I like versatility. So I think the only person I could say on my list that probably wasn't very, very good on the defensive end was probably Magic. Other than that, you got to be able to play ball on both sides of the court.
And there's exceptions too, Big Ox, like Magic, for example. You can be, or Curry, for example. You can be a little below average or average defensively, but you so good offensively that it kind of cancels that out to the point where it's not really, not necessarily it goes away, but it's not paid attention to as much. And Magic was so good offensively overall as an offensive player that it kind of canceled out that he was an average defender at best.
No, 100%. When you're so great at, something, whether Steph Curry shooting or Magic passing, playmaking, you're so great at it, you can overlook some other things for sure. It makes up for it. But shout out Chilltown. He's one of those guys that list has been consistent now for basically every time he said it. Hasn't changed. A lot of people, with the way the chat reacts, they would switch up. But shout out Chilltown.
Damo, when I come up with my criteria, number one is your game timeless. That means that if I dropped you 20 years from now, or if I dropped you 20 years previous, would you still be able to do what you did? Number two, did you dominate? One of my examples is Karl Malone averaged 28 and 11 for 11 straight years. That's almost 30 and 10 for over a decade. How are we talking about a dude that's averaging almost 30 and 10 for over a decade? Well, you can't just keep kicking ass and you ain't winning. That's why it goes to my number three, which did you win? And then I go to number four, did your game transcend? That means that when we look at your game, like how awesome were you and how much did you impact everybody else? And then when I do that, I think about number five, how much did you impact society? Like how much do people care about you overall? And when I come up with all that criteria of those five, again, I think James, Jordan, Jabbar, Chamberlain, Russell, Magic, Bird, Duncan, Lajuan, Diesel.
Why wouldn't? And I just want somebody to explain to me because I just keep seeing it in the chat. And I know I told y'all yesterday we shouldn't have paid attention when people say dumb stuff, right? Because we all say dumb stuff from time to time, especially if you leave it up to other people to decide. You know what I'm saying? We say dumb stuff a lot of times, compared to what people think. So don't take a personal chat when I say that you're saying stupid shit right now. But how come Wilt and Bill Russell wouldn't be able to play? I'm just kidding, especially Wilt. But why would they not be able to play?
I don't know if anyone up here or anyone that has a brain would think that they cannot play. Those guys would definitely, I put them in that list of people that were before their time. Their games are timeless. You can drop Bill Russell in today with a pair of Chuck Taylors. He's going to be able to be impactful on the defensive end. Now, to what extent, I can't sit here and tell you. I damn sure didn't watch him play, but I can just tell you based off of what he was able to do and how he changed the game with his defense. You can drop him today, and he will be able to be a impact player defensively. Rudy Gobert can do it. I don't know why Bill Russell can't do it. Wilt Chamberlain was a freak of nature, even by today's standards of what he can do. When you look at the feats he had in his track and field, when you look at the clips of what he was able to do at that size, at that strength, he was an anomaly. There's no way you're telling me you drop him in today's game with a pair of Chuck Taylors, he still wouldn't be one of the more athletic bigs today. If you want to say he wouldn't be the most athletic big, fair. Say that. Cool. He would still be in the top 1% of athletic bigs today by athletic feats alone. There's not bigs in the NBA now that could do what he did then, numbers-wise, with their athleticism.
What they did, Damo, was his 50 and 26 season, which was in 1962, they fast forwarded and they adjusted it to pace today. And if that was today, that averages out to 31, 17, and 6. That's Giannis.
How much?
That's not Giannis.
What? Say that again.
That's not Giannis.
31, 17, and 6. That's Giannis.
That's better than Giannis.
That's what I'm saying. That's not Giannis.
he,
Will, do you see how fast? Did y'all see how fast Wilt was?
Yeah, for his side, like as an athlete,
he moved.
You can legit say Wilt might be the greatest pure athlete. Just athletic ability at his size. You're not supposed to be able to run and move like that. Like 7-footers aren't supposed to be able to move like that. For him to do that, again, all the athletic feats 100%. When it comes to ranking Bill and Wilt, if you want to say that you don't rank him because you haven't seen enough games or you think the game just wasn't evolved yet, so you don't rank him, that's fine. But to say they couldn't play, I think it's just disrespectful. So if I don't rank him, it's just because I just don't think, again, haven't seen enough games. The game wasn't necessarily evolved. So they're in their own list. They could be in their own list if you don't want to rank them, but to say they can't play, it's just a little.
There's only 2 professional athletes that I can think of in my life that they've made Paul Revere folktale stories of. One was Wilt, and the other was Bo Jackson. And we've seen how Bo Jackson got down. And Bo Jackson was one of them guys who they have folklore stories of him.
They do.
The only other one that has it like that outside of Jordan, where I feel people really, really add on to it, is Wilt. You don't get folklore stories about you if at least 10% of it isn't true. Like some of it got to be true for people to carry on like this.
Bo Jackson walking on water.
My co-host on Chill and Fluent and Chill. First of all, he doesn't even think Wilt is a real person. That's number one. And number two, Damo, do you know why you got to stand behind the free throw line to shoot free throws?
Because of Wilt, right? Like,
yes. Wilt could dunk the ball from the free throw. Wilt could dunk the ball from the free throw line without running.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
The rule.
See what you talk about, Damo? That's what you talk about right there, Damo.
Wilt could dunk the ball from the free throw line without running. So the rules committee was like, hell no, we can't do that. No, I don't think so. So you got to stand behind the free throw line to shoot free throws.
If that's true, if Wilt's your GOAT, I get it. If Wilt's your GOAT, I get it. That's
I'm not done. Do you know why? When the ball hits the top of the backboard, it's out of bounds? Because Wilt, standing underneath the basket, could touch the top of the backboard. So the ball, he could grab the ball off the top of the backboard. So they outlawed that. You can't do that, right? These are just small things. I'm sorry.
Crazy.
I apologize.
Now chat. We can sit here and we can play the is that true or not game if you want. No one has came up with a story like that. I ain't heard of Dwight Howard being in practice and jumping from the free throw. Like, I've heard of players doing crazy stuff in private. We've heard all the crazy stories. This man Wilt has folklore. They have Paul Revere, Wilt Chamberlain tales of what he and you go look. You know what's crazy? You can be like, oh no, he wouldn't, and then you go look at track and field and look at his long jump. His broad jump, and he set a record in 62 for jumping the furthest broad jump. He's like a broad jumper. He might be able to stand at the free throw line. No, maybe
that's what he was doing.
That's what's crazy. So yes, Wilt can play today. Wilt can 100%. There's no way he can't play.
Crazy.
Yeah, Wilt
like the stuff that we've actually kind of seen on video of Wilt doing was remarkable, and then just hearing it, it's crazy. Like.
When I was 13, my granddad used to tell me about like ball back in the day, and that's why I have respect for older games because my grandfather told me about a story where Wilt Chamberlain was in the game, and he said he watched this. He said he seen the game, dunked the ball so hard, the ball went through the net, hit a player's foot, and broke his foot. I said, there's no way that's not the greatest. He dunked the basketball so hard that the ball went through the rim, hit a player's foot, and broke it.
No more, Dubbo. No more.
Yo, Wilt might got to enter my top 5. I'm not going to. After these stories, Wilt just might got to enter the top 5. This is crazy.
Think about it for a second, guys. Who today, in 2024, who is the all-time leader in points per game?
Wilt.
No, it's Jordan.
No, Jordan.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's Jordan. You know who's behind him?
Oh,
Wilt.
Awesome.
It's Wilt. And Wilt retired 50 years ago.
Yo,
I want to make sure we play on that.
Legit.
He retired 50 years ago. Crazy. So, I mean, the stuff about Wilt, I know it's ridiculous to think about because it sounds so ridiculous that it's, like Jordan has, I think Jordan has 33 50-point games in his career. Wilt have 45 of them in one season. I mean, this is the stuff this is the stuff that is of legend. Wilt never fouled out of a game ever. In the 13 years he played in the NBA, never fouled out of one game. Not one game did he ever foul out of. I
don't like that. See, I don't like that. That means you're not playing physical enough. I don't like that.
They had to
That
widen the
thing?
lane.
Was that era thing?
They had to widen the lane because of Chamberlain. Because of him, they had to widen the lane because he was so big. Yeah.
He was a Harlem Globetrotter at one point.
Don't forget that. Don't forget that. That's why when I hear people talking about, that's what I hear when people talk about stuff like, it's a skill set. I'm like, Wilt Chamberlain played for the Globetrotters. What are you talking about?
Chill. What do you have to say about the here in the chat? Wilt averaged 22 points per game in the playoffs and a career playoff choker. Was Wilt the playoff choker?
Well, let's talk about the 69 finals, right? Where Jerry West is your lead guard and your distributor. Chamberlain actually changed his game in order for them to win. He did it in 67 where he led the league in assists and started passing more. In the process of him passing more, they started winning. So you go back to 69 when they played against the Knicks in the finals. I think Jerry West averaged 27 shots a game. I think Wilt averaged 9 shots a game in that. 12 shots a game in that series. In the championship game when they played in Game 7, Wilt went 9 for 10. What is your big man doing only getting 10 shots? That's it. He took 10 shots in that game and made 9 of them. This is the same dude who is the most dominant force. And Wilt at this time is still elite in the game. Wilt changed his game after 66 because he became more of a distributor, became more of a passer. To think that Wilt is a playoff dropper because of first 6 years, just so you know, Damo, his first 6 years in the league in the playoffs, he was 35 and 20. I just want to put that on your mind. His first 6 years in the league, in the playoffs, which goes back to him being a playoff dropper. He was 35 and 20 in the playoffs, and then he starts passing more, and then they start winning more. In the process of them winning more, or he was a playoff dropper because he doesn't score much. Well, that logic right there tells me that you don't know a lot about basketball. Because if you did, you'd know that how much him passing, how much more that helps his crew. So, I'm good.
But wait, Showtime, because an hour ago, a little over an hour ago, when you said Wilt Chamberlain shot 12 shots per game, because this over an hour ago when I said, you know what, Julius Randle should probably shoot 12, 14 shots a game, be more efficient. And everybody in the chat, oh, Bob, you're yapping. Ox is yapping. He doesn't know what he's talking about. How could Julius Randle only shoot 12 shots a game? But if Wilt Chamberlain can do it and it turns into wins, I'm sure Julius could do that. You know what I'm saying? Shoot a little less, but
do you think Julius Randle can dunk from the free throw line standing still? Like, what are we talking about? He's not. He's
the point that he's making is the point that
Julius Randle is Wilt Chamberlain.
The point that Ox is making is that if Chamberlain could sacrifice, Julius Randle could sacrifice too. The problem with that is maybe they could have went to him more, and maybe they would have won more had they gone to him more. Like I just said, in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Wilt went 9 for 10. He only took 10 shots. He should be shooting more. 100%.
Well, I'm not saying they're the same player. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that if a guy like Wilt could shoot a little less, you know what I'm saying, trying to sacrifice for the team. I'm just saying I think Julius could try to do that a little bit.
Right.
But they're definitely not on the same level of player. I wasn't insinuating that at all.
Right.
Hey, so quick question. I know we've talked about all his on the court myths or stories, if you will, but the off the court women thing.
I don't believe that.
It was how many was it?
20,000.
I thought it was 10,000. I thought it was 10,000. 20,000. 20,000 is crazy. That's a lie.
I could believe thousands. It's definitely in the thousands. It's definitely in the thousands, without a doubt.
I actually, Jalen, did. When I heard that, I thought it was so ridiculous that I actually did some homework. And the homework that I did was if Wilt showed up in 1959, from 1959 to 1973, that's 6. I think he played 14 years. On average, Damo, that's 3 chicks a day for 14 straight years.
That's tough.
I'm good. Nah, Wilt.
But wait. So he was supposed to be only doing that during his hooping career, or just from?
That's what he's talking about from his hooping career. That's what he's talking about.
No, wait. I don't know. I think he got to be talking about from when he first,
Yeah.
when he first put the tip into.
I'm good, Joe.
Yo,
that seems doable. That math does math. You got to think Wilt is a larger than life figure at this time. I can definitely see any given night. First of all, Wilt was an asshole. Like from the stories I've heard, he's an asshole. The Kareem story about the guy he spat on that asked him how's the weather up there, so he spat down on him and was like, "Oh, it's raining." Like, oh my god, that's crazy. So I think that a guy like that can live a life to where anytime he wanted, he's just having big sessions. I don't think it was one at a time.
7 subs, 8 subs, 9, 10 subs.
Yeah, like
Orgies,
stuff
just
like
orgies.
that.
Yeah.
This is and we're talking like 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
So one night I got like 5 or 6 different chicks over, and then the next 2 nights I won't have nobody over, and then the next 3 nights I got like 5. So it's averaging out, is what you're saying.
Maybe he was a freaky frog. I mean, 5 nights a week. You got between 5 to 10 other partners each night, and you take a break on the weekends. You might got the game, but I think he was living a life like that. I mean,
okay, I think it's in the thousands for sure. Thousands for sure. 20,000 a lot. Well, honestly, again, lifestyle wise, 10,000 is not as crazy if you think about it. If throughout his life. If he did 10,000 in his life, it wouldn't be crazy.
Yo, I just ran a poll. I said, what's the craziest Wilt story / myth? Him dunking from the free throw line without running. I still can't get over this. Him breaking somebody's foot by dunking the ball so hard that the ball actually came through the hoop and broke somebody's foot. His 100-point game or 20,000 women. And as of right now, the 100-point game, which everybody has been in a frenzy about for the last few weeks, that's actually the lowest with 13%. So you guys go vote. Let me know which Wilt myth that you think is the craziest. Oh, Dom, I hate you.
My man was having mad orgies, bro. That's all.
I ain't gonna lie. With all those, if you put all those myths all in like a row, 100 points seem very dope. That seems possible.
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all though. Like from jumping from the free throw line, breaking somebody's foot with the ball, 100-point games. I think 20,000 boxes is the easiest.
I'm telling you.
By far. I feel like that is the easiest.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh my God.
Just on 100 points. Just on, I couldn't score 100 points against an 8th grade all-star team.
And I'm wild as hell, Damo.
When
I was your age, I was wild as hell. But 20,000 man, 20,000 chicks. And he ain't got no kids running around here. That's what you're trying to tell me.
The no kids thing is interesting. No kids thing. I don't know. He probably has kids didn't claim, yeah.
Because back in those days, it was one way or the other. Either I got multiple families going around, or I'm just like, no, that's not my kid. Get up out of here. Don't come back to this porch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, so, back then, if you was done with your family, you could go 30 miles away and you can start a whole new life. I'm going to get some cigarettes. And you just leave 30 miles up the road. You get to Johnson.
They call that the walking blues.
That was normal. So man, Papa was a Rolling Stone back then. Chill, come on now. He was just out and about.
Hey, look, the Rolling Stones ain't got nothing on Wilt.
But the Rolling Stones probably put up numbers too.
They really
probably
don't.
put up numbers too, though.
Put it that way.
Wait, let's not act like the Rolling Stones probably don't put up numbers too. They probably
somebody saying them kids is quiet. No, your grandma just ain't telling you the truth. That's all it is. Grandma, she don't got saved.
Quiet.
She don't.
Can we get to the bottom?
Can we
get to the bottom of that, Damo? Let's make sure we clear on that. Grandma was not always grandma. Just so you know, grandma was not always grandma.
One thing she ain't gonna do. One thing she ain't gonna do, she ain't gonna tell all Pop's business stuff.
No,
you know what I'm saying? She gonna keep that's between them. You know what I'm saying?
I think you take to the
wasn't
grave.
always grandma, and your mother wasn't always your mother. No, she wasn't.
So yeah, we can move on now.
They be at the club too.
I don't want to talk about my mom. Let's move on.
DSG Piccolo said, and this is about the Blazers game last night, Blazers and Pistons. He said, we were up 23, then Simons went out and we collapsed. And by the way, I think Simons had 29 points last night as well. But he said, we were up 23, then Simons went out and we collapsed. Had the G League guy we signed that day, Ashton Higgins, played 30 minutes and was a minus 29. Rupert was there on the bench. He got no playing time. Chris Murray gave a good minute.
What are they doing up in Portland? So Scoot and Simons are the future in the backcourt. In addition to Scoot and Simons being the future in the backcourt, DeAndre Ayton is your big man that you feature, that you probably don't really go to as much as you should. But this is what we're building. What do you expect from this unit? Scoot is a rookie. I think this is his first full season starting. Now that I think about it, as good as he's been in the past, I think this is his first full season, or is it second?
It's not. He actually been starting for 3. A couple years ago. Remember Dame got shut down a couple years ago, and I think CJ just got traded,
right?
And Dame got shut down,
I'm talking about from beginning to end, Ron.
Okay,
I'm talking about from
second,
training camp. So this is second year from beginning to end. From training camp, this is second year. You got Scoot, who is a rook. You got Ayton, who's probably your best offensive big or your best scorer on the block. Shaden Sharp has been hurt. You got Jeremy Grant, who is a bucket getter, but he doesn't really do much else besides that. What are you expecting from this unit? They're trying to build something out there. Y'all had to start over when you lost Dame. When you lost CJ and you lost Dame. This team is starting over. So there's no way that when you're starting over that you expect this thing to be roses. When you building a road, it looks ugly. That's, of course, until it's paved and the lines are all down. Now it looks great. You're building it now. That's all that's going on.
Also, Malcolm Brogdon didn't play last night, too. And, like, by just looking at the Blazers roster, if you don't live in Portland, you probably don't know more than 3 people on this roster. Especially of the guys that played last night, you probably know Jeremy Grant, you would know Matisse Thybulle, and you would know Anthony Simons. Chris Murray, you would know him because of his brother, but you probably wouldn't think too highly of him as a player.
You're talking about just based on the players that played last night. You're talking about, right? Are you talking about? Oh,
if you're not a Portland fan, or if you're not just a diehard NBA guy, you wouldn't know who these guys are.
But I'm not mad at what they're doing with their roster. In terms of this being the first year of their rebuild, the foundation they set, to me, it's not a bad foundation. They have a solid foundation. They have a couple guys that you can consider their core. This is the first year of it. I was expecting them, honestly, even though they're deemed a bad team, they could have easily been worse than this. They could have easily been way worse than this in terms of the pieces they're trying to rebuild with. So it's honestly about what they do this offseason. Whatever they do this offseason with a couple of pieces they have, if they're going to move Brock and try to get more pieces, that's really what will make or break this rebuild go around post Dame. The first year, you just need to get out of being the Damian Lillard team. You just need to start the rebuild, start the train, start getting things going. This summer will really tell if they're doing the right job, a good job, a great job, a bad job. All that'll be told this offseason, in my opinion.
And Shaden Sharp didn't play last game, too. He's been out for a little bit of time. So that's another thing, too. But they got some bright spots over there. They obviously got Scoot, which a lot of people aren't as high on him, but he's still only 19. He has a long career to go. Anthony Simons, he's averaging 20 for the second straight season, 20 plus. And then they got Shaden Sharp. So they're Jabari Walker, Tumani Kamara. They got a couple young pieces over there.
I heard about Kamara. Kamara nice. A lot of Blazer fans they really like him. So and what did they draft him? What was he drafted? He was a late pick, wasn't he? Was he? I'm not gonna act like I know.
Yeah, he was. I think it was either late first round or even second round. I'm pretty sure he was a second round pick. He was picked in the second round, 52nd pick.
See that? And if they can do more stuff like this going forward, where you get a good guy out the second round every draft, a solid combo to role player in the second round of each draft, which sounds crazy and sounds like something hard to do, but it is doable. So find a guy that you could just plug in and play if you need him. That's actually a lot more doable in the second round. People give it credit for.
I watched, and I'm on Damo's page. Damo, I do watch bad basketball. I watched Oklahoma City, Portland, when Oklahoma City beat them by 60. I did watch that game. I don't watch a lot of Trailblazers game, but I do catch some games because I like Simons. I like what they're doing with Simons. I'm not sure what they're doing with Thybulle. I've always been a big fan of the city of Portland. When Shaq used to play for the Lakers, I used to get up to Portland all the time. I really did. I really dug going up there. So I peeked my head in on the Trailblazers, and they're trying to get it together. That's what they're doing right now. They're trying to get it together.
Does anybody believe that Chauncey Billups should be fired?
No, I think this is a rebuilding team, young players. Yeah, you got to give them an opportunity to really, again, develop this team. Let Scoot improve. Let Simons even get better, more years under him. I think they'll eventually they have to trade Brogdon and Jeremy Grant. They could probably get some quality pieces for them if they do, maybe in the offseason. Well,
Jalen, if you fire Chauncey Billups, who are you replacing him with? Go get Doc Rivers. No. I'm sorry, go get Doc Rivers. Because then you're gonna want to fire him, or go get whoever it is, and they're still not progressing fast enough. Fire him. So, I mean, what's the story in Portland? Why can't they just? You got a young coach who hasn't coached yet, but is trying to figure this thing out. Give him some time to figure it out.
100%.
And then I have to ask this final question because the chat just won't let it go, and I just can't get over it. Seriously, does anybody believe that man dunked the ball so hard that he broke somebody's foot?
Look, I'm trying to figure out the physics of that. Like, he dunked the ball. Did it hit like the top of his toe? Like, did it hit his ankle? Did it hit? You know, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I'm really trying.
It had to have been a medicine ball, bro. Like,
yeah, medicine ball, weighted ball.
Wait a minute, Big Ox. If you stand underneath the basket, all right, the basket right here,
Yeah.
with the force that with Chamberlain to throw it through the hole, like if you hit somebody in the face with the ball, not that far, you could do some real damage.
Yeah.
Right? You could do some real damage. Is it ridiculous to think that Chamberlain threw the ball through the hole so hard that it hit somebody in the foot and broke his foot because he threw it through the hole that far? You could break somebody's nose hitting them in the face with the ball.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's very possible. Just like I'm telling these guys in the chat, I think it's possible that he could have killed a mountain lion. They said
I do believe that.
You punch it in the right spot. You could break that. You could break his neck. Y'all gotta remember, Wilt was literally a giant, bro. Like he's way bigger than us. I think I'm a big dude. Wilt make me look small.
How much did he weigh?
He was a little
275 at 7 foot.
He was a literal giant. He's way stronger than all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't
500.
I'm about to say
we can't fathom that type. We can't fathom that type of strength. You know what I'm saying? Like he way stronger than us. So it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like if you punch, like I hit hard. Wilt probably hit 3 times harder than me. You catch an animal right here on the neck. You break his neck, it's dead. I mean, that's
take the word lion off the table because it's not a lion like Mufasa.
Mountain lion.
No,
yeah, mountain lion.
This ain't Mufasa we talking about. No, we talking about mountain lions ain't huge, right? It ain't like
big, but not like.
But they ain't like Mufasa. No, they're not that.
Right.
No, they still mountain lions. They still mountain.
Talk about that,
they still ain't nothing to play with. But you know what I'm saying? It's not Mufasa. It ain't Mufasa and Scar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing about that is like to a mountain lion to
I don't know why I'm just serious right now and chill. I'm so confused.
A mountain lion to Wilt is like a dog. Is like a dog to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know about that. Ain't no human in the world that mountain lions a dog. Mountain lion's a mountain lion, bro. That mountain lion's gonna eat you alive.
What I'm saying is,
wait a minute. You just said this dude just said a mountain lion is gonna eat you alive. Of course, if you 5'10", if you 6 foot, Wilt 7'1", 275 pounds. Wilt looking at a mountain lion like it's a cat.
Hey,
my thing is a mountain lion to do damage to anybody. My thing is we all know animals like mountain lions that aren't pack animals. That mountain lion's not gonna even attack Wilt. It's gonna see Wilt like, you know what? I'm gonna go find something else to play with because lions like animals like that can't risk serious injury. If a mountain lion like that sustains a serious injury, he'll die because he can't hunt no more. You know what I'm saying?
I just need to show the world after this conversation. This is my top 10. At the bottom, Hakeem is being replaced. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna let you know. Hakeem is being replaced by Wilt right now. I'm actively replacing Wilt. I can't not have Wilt in my top 10 after hearing all the things I'm hearing today. There's no way he's not a top 10 player of all time. There's no. So Hakeem, all respect to you. Officially, Hakeem has been replaced.
No, like I said, after these stories,
no way, bro.
Wilt could be a GOAT. After these stories, Wilt could be a GOAT.
I don't know if you know this, Damo, but Wilt set the record for the most consecutive buckets in the game where he went 15 for 15. You know who broke that record? Wilt. He went 16 for 16 in the next game.
Another story after story. This is crazy.
This is my thing. If I go somewhere where it's loads of ladies, right? And I'll tell them, you know what I just did yesterday? Jumped on the mountain lion back, cracked him, broke his neck, killed him. You know how much? Let me try to be.
How much what?
You know how much juice box I'm gonna get after that?
Oh, they're gonna be lined up.
A lot.
They're gonna be lined up.
You know how many juice boxes that girl would have to drink to believe that? Like, you didn't think about it. For a girl to believe that is crazy.
No, Jalen, that's what I'm saying. Look, Jalen, let me tell you something, Jalen. I'm big enough, Jalen, to where Bro, I can say anything. I can say anything, Jalen, and they believe it. Like, I'm not even gonna get into it, but like, bro, you can lie.
I've heard it.
When you're over Jalen, when you're over 6'6", you can lie. And they'll be like,
Jalen, and to compound that, Jalen, you have no idea how big Wilt is. Like, to stand next to, like, Ron has seen me. I got to stand on a chair to talk to Shaq in his ear. Chamberlain was that big. So if you're talking to a chick that's 5'5" and you tell her, yo, I choked the mountain lion out, she's going to be like, oh, really?
She's going to be like, choke me next, Jalen.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got to keep it lit.
I got
now,
story
Jalen, no, Jalen.
My bad.
Why you activate Jalen? Hey, that be the type of stuff that really gets Jalen going. And like,
literally
that.
gets him going. Literally.
That's crazy.
I got a story from last night, but that's another day.
Oh, my God.
You saw the out last night.
MP13 said, see, this is what annoys me about Lakers fans. Their hypotheticals have the Lakers maxing out every game to win these series, but then they are 27 and 26 just because they are not trying hard or some excuse, man.
What does that mean?
Last time I checked, maybe I'm wrong. Last season, when all LeBron said was, get me in the door and that'll be enough, where do we max out at? The conference finals. So I'm just saying I'm going to trust my glorious king and lead to believe that if we get in the door, all bets are off. There is a flip that switches when this man hits the playoffs. It has been true since I was in school. I'm sorry, I'm just going to go with history has shown me until I'm not showing it anymore. We just got to get there. For the last, I don't know, for however, outside of 2020, it was just about the marathon of running the marathon race in the regular season for LeBron James and his teams to get to the playoffs. If they get to the playoffs, 9 times out of 10, if we stay healthy, we got good shots. Only times we don't have a good shot is when we're not healthy. I'm just being honest. If we're healthy, I see us maxing out. If we're not healthy, hey, man, anything can happen. I'm not lying to you. What I'm telling you is actually factually true.
And to the dude in the chat, Adam West, you're the same dude who says they got swept in the conference finals, but if they win it, he needed Anthony Davis in order to win it. Do you that dude? So give me a break.
All right, y'all, moving along. James B. shot through a super chat. James said, break up Detroit. You serious? Pistons better than Portland, Wizards, Hornets. Stop hating on Detroit. Duran, dub. Ivy, dub. Marcus Sasser, dub. Cade, dub. Wingstop, dub. Mars tried to troll and say Cade was the problem. Nasty.
Yeah, talk to him, James B, about our Detroit Pistons, James B. Yeah. Detroit, we go hard, baby. Let's go. I don't even think that's the motto. Detroit versus everybody. There it is. I knew what it was, James B. I was testing. I was testing.
Detroit basketball.
It's nice to see old school big man like Jalen Duran still doing his thing in the NBA. Back to the basket, physical. You know, you don't have to be kind of a finesse, get you 7-8 assists type of guy. You could still be a dominant physical guy and be impactful on winning.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. And Damo, I will give you your flowers. You called the whole Jalen Duran thing. I'm excited to see how good he really
I was watching him because of you, Damo. I ain't gonna lie. I did. I started watching the Pistons and watching Jalen Duran because you put me on to him. I ain't gonna lie about that. You did. You turned me on to him, so I started watching him.
Now, if we give him flowers, I will. Hey, man, I can give flowers at the end of the day, too. Had Monty not displayed terrorist activity, I'm not calling him a terrorist, but he definitely had a couple Google searches that was questionable. Maybe if Jaden Ivey was starting this whole season, the Cade and Ivy duo might have looked like a prominent thing because right now they're rolling. Like when Jaden has been starting next to Cade, I didn't think those two could really work together. Jaden is balling next to Cade. Like he's able to play, do his thing. It looks good. So I can also give flowers and say, hey, it may be something to the Jaden and Cade duo as well. I know in the summertime we had who's the duo for the Pistons. I said Cade and Duran, and because of coaching, that's what we've seen for most of the season. But if the coach thought a little differently, we might have seen that Cade and Ivy duo.
If it looked from what it looked like on paper and what this team looked like they could be with adding Monty Williams, to be honest with you, it looked like it could work. They looked like they were going to improve. That's why I bought in. Monty Williams is getting on this crew. This is a young crew. I like what I see with Cade and Ivy. It looked like Jalen Duren, who you turned me on to. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to start watching this. It looked like it could work on the surface. It just didn't.
When I sold you the bootleg movie, Chill, I promise you, when I watched it, it looked good. Everything was fine. I didn't know at an hour 15 minutes all the CGI cut out, and then it turned in. It looked real janky at that point. I didn't know.
Walking through the camera and shit, and all that. Like,
I didn't know the camera fell over at hour 15. Hour 15, the camera falls over. I didn't know.
Camera
I only
falling
watched an
over.
hour and 9 minutes.
Like, what the hell happened? What we doing here? Man.
DSG Piccolo said, also the Lakers allegedly weighed trading Taurean Prince or Terrorist Prince, but Ham stopped him, was vocal about keeping him, could have traded him for a point of attack defender, maybe go sign Killian.
Where'd you get this information from, Piccolo?
Yeah, I want to say what it is. Is it just like a Darvin Ham hate thing? Is it real?
Yeah, you got Dom up here stressing. We need.
Yeah, Blazer. He's a Blazer guy too, by the way. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
There's an ulterior motive here. He is a Portland guy. So
We need to check those sources.
Yeah,
Piccolo.
don't leave that part out. That's very important to mention. He is a Blazer.
Look what you're doing to my man Damo.
Man, he is a Blazer guy. So let's make sure you remember that. Can't hear you, Damo. Can't hear you.
I don't even want that thought crossing my mind right now, bro. I'm a relapse from my New Year's resolution. It's only been a month.
Do something.
Jalen just talked about that, Damo.
What?
You can't relapse on your New Year's resolution so fast.
Facts.
Oh,
Stay
you a
with it,
damn
Damo.
lie. You a damn lie. Taurean Prince is still on this team because of Darvin Ham specifically. You a damn lie. I can't relapse. What? What? I'm a chill.
I ain't
Speaking of which,
The
fellas,
buyout
this
market is still a
evening-
thing.
And the Lakers aren't on that list. The Lakers aren't, because I just saw that list too, and the Lakers are not on that list. The Lakers are a team who can venture into the buyers market because there's teams in the buyers market that can't get on. Golden State, the Clippers, Boston, Phoenix, Milwaukee, Denver, Miami. They can't participate in the buyout market.
Why?
Because of the new collective bargaining agreement. They're in the in the second tier of the luxury tax. They can't get involved.
Okay. It's a money thing. It's a money thing.
Yeah,
They
money
can't-
thing.
They can't get involved in that. The Lakers, on the other hand, they can get involved in it.
Oh, well, we missed out on Spencer Dinwiddie. He's going to the Mavericks. That is.
Is he? He's going back to the.
Oh, he was what you call it. He was at the game. They got the clips of him, like him sitting and talking to Mark Cuban, like in depth, and all you see is Cuban hitting him with these. And
Is it already done? It's already set.
it's not a done deal, but it's one of those things where it's like, all right, you just got bought
It's
out.
gonna
Now,
happen.
of course, not at the Mavericks game, sitting next to the Mavericks, specifically talking to the owner. It's one of those things. Unless he's at the next Laker game, or unless he's at the next whoever game that has interest in him, because I only seen two teams that was interested in him: the Lakers and the Mavericks. So unless he's about to pop up at the next LA game, I think he's going to the Mavericks. I ain't gonna lie. We're getting Killian Hayes, folks. That's about to be the guard defender we need. Killian Hayes.
Killian Hayes about to shot the
Solid
ball.
pickup. Solid pickup. I like that.
Fellas, yesterday was the trade deadline. There was a lot of moves that was made. And I got to hear you guys' grades for these trade deadline moves. Before I do that, I do want to say join us today on Playback with Open Gym at 11. So, 11 Pacific time, 2 Eastern. So right after this, go to Playback, watch Down to the Facts with the Open Gym crew. Also, if you haven't liked the video, go ahead and like the video. Shout out to all of our members. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's showing love. Everybody that's been here from the beginning to the end. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the real MVPs. I got one more super chat too. Big Don Rich said, so Wilt is a Greek god now. Apparently.
Essentially.
His stories make Greek god stories look mediocre.
All right, fellas, let's jump into these trades. I'm going to ask you guys about the trade, and you guys give me your grade on what the trade means for that team. We're obviously going to start with the New York Knicks and Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. What does this addition mean for the Knicks, and what do you grade it? Chill, I'm going to start with you.
I definitely think it's an A because it gives them the rotation guys that they didn't have before. It gives them that punch off the bench when Julius Randle gets healthy, when Brunson gets back healthy, when OG gets healthy. Now they got those guys coming off the bench to give them real solid minutes. And the Knicks are obviously pushing all their chips to the front of the table. They're serious. I give it an A.
Damo?
Which team was it? My bad. I was
The
reading chat.
Knicks.
The Knicks.
Knicks.
Oh, A+. I love the moves the Knicks made. The Knicks made literally every right move possible with each trade they made. I loved it. I'll give them an A+.
Jalen?
Yeah, I'm with Damo here. I'm gonna give it an A+ too. I thought the Knicks had the best, trade deadline moves. They added what they needed with additional scoring. Burks coming off the bench and not have to give up a ton too. So I thought it was a great deal for the Knicks. So A+ for them.
What about you, Ox?
If I was teaching this team, and like this was midterm, you know what I'm saying it would be such an A+ that I'd be like, you did so good on these midterms, you don't even gotta take the finals in a couple months. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you an A on. I'm gonna give you an A on your final exams. You know what I'm saying? You can, just go do your thing now. That was such a power move. They freed Bojan from the depths of Detroit, and it makes them legit contenders. Legit contenders.
All right, keeping it pushing. Chill, I'm gonna ask you, what is Monty Morris to the Minnesota Timberwolves grade at?
See, I don't think it does much for them. I think their rotation's already set. I just think he's a vet another vet to that roster. I think their rotations in Minnesota are already set. I think their starting five is already set. So he just gives them more of a backup guy. I don't think it moves the needle at all. I don't hate it, but I don't think it moves the needle at all. I'll give it a C.
Damo?
I'm actually gonna give it a B. I'm trying to pull up their roster right now as we speak just to make sure, but I don't know who they're like. If they have a bona fide backup,
McLaughlin.
I'm taking Monte Morris over McLaughlin in all actuality. McLaughlin's cool. I think Monte Morris is better than McLaughlin personally. I do. So that gives them an actual vet backup point guard to come if Mike Conley's injured or Mike Conley's just to relieve some duties from Mike Conley and to help them with that issue of their half-court offense and like finishing games. Something we did see, like we did address as a problem for them this season. That helps that.
Jalen?
Again, I think I'm lean towards the C+ kind of range too. I think he only kind of helps if they have an injury to a rotation guy. He's another body to have. These guys mentioned he's a vet, but if they're fully healthy, he might not even be in a playoff rotation. So I'm not too big on it.
Ox, what about you?
Monte to Minnesota?
Yeah.
C. A C. I mean, it's not a bad move. You know what I'm saying? C's get degrees, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You'll pass the class.
C's do. Yes, they do.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yes,
just
they
not.
do.
You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that ribbon on your cap and gown, though. But it's all good. You did your thing.
The disrespect of Monte Morris up here is crazy. Has anyone told you look like Offset? I'm just not realizing that from this angle. That's crazy.
Yeah, there was actually a young lady, a couple, what's that? Oh, Halloween. A couple Halloweens wanted to go as Offset and Cardi B, but my girl wouldn't allow me to do it. So
this case, somebody other than your girl asked you.
That's
crazy. What'd you expect the girl to say, Ox? What'd you expect the girl to say?
Well, like Chilltown said, you gotta ask. You might get, could say yes, could say no. I was just, at least I didn't just sneak off and go do it. You know what I'm saying?
Big Ox, there's some things you don't ask. That's one thing. No, you don't ask
okay.
that.
Okay, my bad.
You don't ask everything. No.
I'm learning, Chill. I'm learning.
No.
But it was a lot of times me and Ron used to walk around there and be like, oh, it's Offset in Quavo. So
6'9", 6'4".
That's not what they call Ron.
This is back when I used to have the two braids though. So it was a little different.
Pretty confident Offset ain't 6'9" either. So
right. But yeah, no, that was gonna be a fire party. You know what I'm saying? Offset, and you know what I'm saying.
It's gonna be a fire fight after that party too.
That's definitely what it's gonna be, Jalen. It was 100% gonna be that. You can best believe it was gonna be that. Hell yes.
All right, y'all. The next trade that I got for you is The Oklahoma City Thunder acquiring Gordon Hayward. Chill. What do you grade this?
If he was healthy, I graded a B because he gives them another wing that can score and give you a little bit of defense, just a little bit, but he ain't healthy. So, I mean, I can't remember the last time Gordon Hayward played. So I don't really know what he's going to do for this unit outside of vet leadership, which they could use, no doubt about that. But other than that, I don't really know what he's going to do for this crew. So I'll give it a C.
Damo?
I'm gonna give it a C because of the simple fact I like the move, but this didn't address the issue that I felt this team had, and this team would address the issue this team would need to fix to actually do something in the playoffs. This gives them another a guy on the wing who would score, as Shill said. They needed that, honestly. They needed a wing guy that could score, whether that's coming off the bench or a makeshift lineup here or there. I do see what Gordon Hayward is doing this year or can do this year because I'm like, chill. I can't remember last time he played, so I'm gonna give it a C.
December 26th.
So a month and a half ago.
Yeah, he had calf issues.
Mm-hmm. That's usually what happens when you old in the league. So that's what happens. I think he's what is he in year 16? He showed up in 2009.
Can't be that long.
2011. He showed up 2011.
2000, okay, so he 13, 14.
So this is 14
with that really bad injury.
Yeah,
13. He's in year 13.
He's 33 right now.
Yeah, I think something similar to Chill and Damo. Those C seems to be the right answer. He does provide some shooting that I think they could use on the floor. There'll be nights where he'll be out there without Giddey on the floor. But I mean, like what Damo said, they definitely need a big man. But a veteran presence on a young team, obviously definitely helps too. And I wouldn't be shocked if he wins him a game or two in the fourth quarter or something. If they double SGA or he's kicking it out to a guy and Gordon Hayward's the guy getting you some buckets, I would not be shocked in the fourth quarter he wins you a game in the playoffs.
I would like to add that Gordon Hayward is this season, this is a 15-5-5 guy shooting 47 from the field, 36 from three. Now you can take that with a grain of salt because he was playing on the Hornets, but hey, you can go look on the Hornets. Everybody wasn't averaging 15-5-5 playing for him, given these minutes. So.
It don't matter, Damo. A lot of those threes were open. So I don't give a damn about that.
What do you grade the trade, Ox? With that being said,
what do I? After thinking about it though, and you never know like what type of vet this person is. You never know him personally, so you don't know what type of person they are. But I would assume Gordon Hayward could take the role of actually, mentoring guys like J-Dub, helping them out, showing them new ways, just different things they don't know, positioning on offense and defense. Just teaching them how to be pros. But I mean, like Damo just pointed out, like Gordon Hayward's he's not through yet all the way if he could stay healthy. So it could turn out to be better than what I said yesterday. Yesterday it just kind of was like, what, like Gordon Hayward, but when you think about it, it was a good move, and if it is setting up later moves, then let's give it a B-.
All right, moving on to the next trade. I'm actually going to go with a team that didn't make a trade. What do you guys grade what the Chicago Bulls did during the trade deadline?
The same thing that I graded them last year. The same thing I graded them the year before that. I don't know if you dudes know this, but the last time the Chicago Bulls made a trade was 2021. They have not made a trade since then at the trade deadline. Since 2021. So we're talking over 3 years. That's who the Chicago Bulls are. And their general manager has made it clear that he wants to stick with DeMar DeRozan and this unit long term. So Drummond's still on the roster. Zach LaVine's still on the roster. All of these dudes are still on the roster, and he thinks that they can win. F. And that F does not stand for fair. That stands for fail. Because just so you know, Damo, when I was a kid, F's on your report card were fair. U's were the ones that were bad, unsatisfactory.
Oh yeah, I remember the U's and N system on progress reports when I was growing up. That's where we had them. But for me, I would grade this.
Progress reports now.
Oh, and I tried to hide them, but I would give it I would grade it a D. Obviously, definitely in my mind they should have did something. But I will say this: I always harp on the fact that the NBA is a business, and I always harp on the fact that every team's not trying to win, even if they say they are. I can see the Bulls doing that in terms of manager being like, you know what? Why tank and lose money when at the end of the day we still got a competent product to put butts in seats at the very least? People are going to show up to see Zach LaVine. People are going to show up to see DeMar DeRozan. People are going to show up to see a guy like Vooch still be able to give you around 20 points. Like, I got a product that can sell tickets. Why would I take that away? I need my dollars. Blow it up in the offseason. I can understand that. Now, if they don't do anything, now I understand he's saying, oh, keep them together. We can still make the playoffs. We're a playoff team. What is he supposed to say? Oh, no, I'm not going to trade nobody because I want to sell tickets. No, he's going to lie. Hey, lie nice. I feel it. Lie to everybody. Get your money. This is a business. D.
Jalen?
I'm gonna give the Bulls a C for only reason because I just think they're gonna wait till the off season because sometimes in mid season you can't get the most for these guys just based on like some of the space that some teams have. Some picks aren't available till the off season for teams to trade. So I just think they're kind of waited. They probably had offers obviously for Caruso, for DeRozan, just not what it is. So I think they'll blow it up in the off season. So I think it's fine. I think waiting until the off season to get a better package than rushing it in mid season is always fine. So let's give them a C.
Ox?
I do believe DeMar is an unrestricted free agent coming up.
I think so.
It is right.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm giving him a big fat red F. A huge red F. Because seeing that this man is an unrestricted free agent, it's kind of like I need to either show him that we're willing to do more and want to win, or I need to come off of him and get something in exchange. It's just I liked where Chicago was going a couple seasons ago, but now it's just looking like they're lost, and they should have done something. They should have done something. So I'm giving them an F for sure.
All right, y'all. The next team we're rocking with is the Dallas Mavericks. They picked up PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. How are we feeling about this?
I actually like this trade, to be honest with you. I didn't really watch a lot of Daniel Gafford in Washington, but from what I did see from him, a lot of energy, big body, can man the paint, can rebound, can help speed their transition game up even more. And I think he could capitalize off playing with Luka. Luka could get him involved in that offense. I'm not sure if Lively is still starting with him in the roster. That's why I'd asked the question yesterday. Does Lively still start with him in the roster, or does he get right on and start as opposed to Lively? PJ Washington gives them that other foreman, that other big body that they didn't have. I like what they're doing in Dallas. I give them a B.
I'm on.
B plus A minus range. Love the moves they made. This is probably in terms of depth and collection of talent, the best front court that's been put around Luka. And in my opinion, this is probably the most talent Luka's had or he can have any given time on the court next to him in his career. I like the move. I didn't realize that Grant Williams was rubbing so many people the wrong way in Dallas. I don't know if y'all seen those reports. They were dead set on getting him out of there because he rubbed everybody the wrong way. And apparently he switched from wearing Luka shoes to wearing Tatum shoes after there was like disgruntlement between him and the team or something like that. So yeah, they were like, yeah, get him the hell out of here. So I'm all for it. If he was a head case or causing problems in the locker room, yeah, get him out of here, send him somewhere else. That was a good move by them. Love the additions. DG and PJ Washington, two good additions to that team they definitely needed.
I actually thought he was going to work there because he was going to shore up what they didn't have defensively on the wing, and he gave them a D and 3 guy. I thought it was going to work out better than what it did. I was surprised that it didn't work out as well as it did. I was surprised.
Same here. I thought it was better those role players or a glue guy that fit there. That was the one of the bigger acquisitions they had in the free agency this offseason. So I was like, it's got to work out. I was surprised yesterday. Someone asked me, why did I make that face? I'm like, they really traded Grant Williams? But I didn't know about the locker room stuff, so it makes sense.
Jalen?
I'm gonna give him a B plus. I think they definitely have to give away a bit for PJ Washington. They definitely lose something without Grant Williams, but PJ Washington offers him more of a scoring guy. Definitely kind of could be their third option on any given night. Gives him more of an interior presence too. So I think PJ Washington, especially playing with Luka and Kyrie, you could see him improve to get more open looks. So it works for the team. It's a good fit. It can make some noise. They can make some noise with this lineup now. Derek Lively, PJ Washington, Luka, Kyrie. I mean, a third guy, whether that's Derek Jones Jr. or Josh Green or whoever it is, that fifth guy in the lineup, could be a dangerous team.
How you feeling, Ox?
First of all, shout out Grant Williams for not bowing down to the prima donnas and divas over there in Dallas. You know what I'm saying, shout out to Grant Williams for that, man. Stand on your own team, Grant. I love that out of him. But I think I'll give him a B, just a solid B. I like the moves they made. They lost some perimeter defense from Grant Williams to PJ Washington. But I think they're setting up their team exactly how they want to play. Like this is what you want. You want your GM and your coaches to work together. You don't want your GMs just be sending your coaches, players, and like, oh, well, you just got to make it work. Like the style of play, I think the Mavericks are going with now. It's kind of like we got all the scoring right here. We got rim protection. So now you got to be hot to beat us. You know what I'm saying? If you can't hit as many threes as us, if you can't knock down contested mid-range jump shots, if you can't score out here in this three-point line, you're gonna have a rough time with Dallas. So for those reasons, you know what? Damn a B. Give him an A-.
All right, moving along. The next team that we have is the Philadelphia 76ers acquiring Buddy Hield. What is the grade on this trade for the Sixers? Chilltown.
I don't really know what to think of this because of this year, he does not make them better because 35, 11, and 6 is out of the lineup. Everything that Philadelphia is doing was predicated on Joel Embiid. Now that that's going, they got to switch up everything they're doing. This is not a next man up logic with this team because we don't have any of that to make up for all of this. Now you got a long ball shooter in Buddy Hield. This might work next season if he decides to re-sign with them and they got Joel Embiid back. But this year, I don't think this moves the needle for them at all. I give it a C.
Okay, Damo.
Can't hear you, Damo.
Muted.
Damn, what team was it?
Philly.
Getting Buddy Hield.
If Embiid was there, I would have gave it a B. But seeing how Embiid probably most likely is done for the season, I'm gonna say C. But how many years Buddy got left to see expiring?
This is it. After this year,
That's a C. You got too many questions about between if you're gonna bring back Tobias, bring back Buddy. I just don't. I don't feel like it made him too much better. I mean, it was a good move. Don't get me wrong. Like adding a shooter, obviously is something good, but y'all season is done. I can't give you anything above a C in my opinion.
Aylin?
Yeah, I think again. I mean, to kind of go off what these two said over here, it just depends on what your expectations are for this year versus next year. This year, now if they could have traded for maybe another kind of competent big who could have kind of shored up that center position a little bit more than having Paul Reed with Joel Embiid out, probably would have been better. Buddy Hield, he'll just be a rotation guy there, not make too much impact. They'll still barely make the play in if they even do that, and they'll probably just lose. But if Embiid is there, I actually love this move. You put Joel Embiid and you have a lot of them, Maxey, Oubre, Buddy Hield, and Tobias. There's so many ways you can score there, whether that's outside shooting, attacking the basket, getting to the rim. I mean, that's just the spacing on that team would be crazy. Like you double Joel Embiid, you're cooked. With Buddy Hield, you double Joel Embiid, it's probably over because they're going to hit that open shot. So with Joel Embiid, I'd give this an A. Without, probably a C.
Ox, how you feeling?
Let's just go D- with this one because it's not only. Well, I told them on Monday they were supposed to go get DeMar DeRozan. Told them on Monday they go get DeMar DeRozan. They didn't do it. And then make that even worse, they let go of Pat Beverly. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a move that the Sixers made as well. They didn't. Not only did they go get Buddy Hield, but they also let go of Pat Beverly. That was stupid. You sent Pat Beverly to the Bucks, a postseason rival of yours. You know what I'm saying? Helping them establish their perimeter defense while weakening your perimeter defense. Tell me how that makes sense. So, why would you do that? I mean, Buddy Hield's a hell of a shooter, but y'all know I'm not high on Buddy Hield anyway. But yeah, I'll give him a D. They were supposed to go get DeMar DeRozan. I told them to, and they didn't listen. So for that, go ahead with that.
Getting the backup point guard in campaign, who I'm not really that big a fan of. I thought that he was good a while ago, but Campaign as a backup lead guard, he has not been good.
Yeah, like
With it.
yeah, and then that's a fact. That's a fact. I didn't even think about that. Not only did they let go of Pat Beverly, but they got Campaign. So
they got
D-.
D'Anthony Melton as their backup point guard. Campaign's not gonna. Well, he probably will get some playing time, but he's not their backup point guard. But with that being said, D'Anthony Melton's hurt right now, so Campaign's gonna have to play. The next trade that I got for you guys is Royce O'Neal to the Phoenix Suns.
I love
for
this,
what?
to be honest.
For what, Ron?
Here I could just put it on the screen.
You saw Watanabe, I want to say, or did he go to the Grizzlies for the trade?
So they gave up
David
Yuta
Roddy.
Watanabe, they gave up Jordan Goodwin, they gave up Chimezi Metu, and they gave up Bates Diop.
For Royce O'Neal?
But
Royce
they got
O'Neal,
Royce O'Neal and David Roddy.
Those guys weren't even playing, Big Ox. It's not like those guys were heavy in the rotation. Those guys weren't.
They were, but not chill time. Remember, they were playing at the beginning of the season. We talked about this. That he was shuffling through. That was I'll wait for my turn. I'll wait my turn.
But I think Royce O'Neal gives them another wing defender that they didn't have. That helps, but that doesn't solve their problem. Don't get me wrong. I do think that he's going to help them. I think that he gives them a stretch four that can defend, that can knock down open shots, but that does not solve their problem, which is at the lead guard spot. That's their biggest problem. Devin Booker can pass. He's not a passer. When I watch Devin Booker go for 47 and 44 and 62, that means that guys aren't getting the basketball. Well, chill. They just set a record for assists last night, right? They just set a record for assists last night. That's the first time they did that. They don't get off the field like that. Now, the next couple of games, you'll see something completely different. So it's a difference between a guy who can pass and a passer. So I would not be surprised if I saw something different from Phoenix. I give this a B in terms of adding him. I give it a B, but it doesn't solve their problem.
Damo?
I would give it a C+. I like the move. I don't think it was too crazy. They would have to prove to me that was super crazy. Royce O'Neal is known as a guy who can defend. Giving Frank Vogel perimeter defenders, being a defensive minded coach is great, but I'm with Chill. I would have went out there. I would much rather have seen them bring on Royce O'Neal and probably just a guard, someone to take some ball handling responsibilities, playmaking responsibilities, something. If you're going to get rid of all those pieces, I understand people are saying those are bad pieces. They're all bad. I get that, but giving up 4 bodies for 2 with a team that has injury problems, in my opinion, I would want to address more issues than just, get a guy that can play defense and then get David Roddy, who, from my belief, and I don't watch too much David Roddy, but I don't know what he's supposed to. Is he supposed to be a defender? Is he a 3-and-D guy? Like I assumed he was a 3-and-D guy. He's built like Dylan Brooks and looks like Jamal Murray. I just assumed he was a 3-and-D guy every time I seen him. I'm not too familiar with David Roddy, so I'll give this a C+ though.
Hey Stunner, can you tell everybody in the chat, since you want to talk about Grayson Allen, tell everybody in the chat how many assists he had over the last 4 games previous to that. Tell everybody that. Since you're talking about him having 14 assists, tell everybody how many assists he had over the last 4 games. Tell everybody that. Since you want to talk about what he did last night. They're all ears. Don't just tell some of the story. Tell the entire story. Go ahead, my man.
Yeah, I'm with Chilltown here. I think I really do like this trade too. I think Royce O'Neal, if you're playing the Clippers, he's the guy you put on their best wing guy, whoever's going on, whether that's Kawhi or Paul George. Any other team, he's probably going to be the guy you put on the other team's best player. So as a defender, I like that. Takes a bit of pressure off of Kevin Durant. So he can he can focus probably a little bit more on the scoring end. So if Royce O'Neal wants to come in, rebound the ball well, defend the other team's best player, he's not going to be asked to score. He's going to be asked to hit the open shot. This team already has the 3 guys to get the buckets. He's going to hit open shots. So I like this deal. It's the type of guy I think that'll do well for them in the playoffs, and type of guy that knows his role and won't try to do too much. So I really like this pickup for the Suns. Give him a B for this one.
Big Ox.
I can wrap my head around coming off of Jordan and Yuta. I can wrap my head around that. I don't like giving up Bates Diop, and I do not like giving up Chimezi Metu. So with that being said, they still got tons of firepower, but the depth on that bench, guys that people in the chat are trying to say weren't good, which that's a lie. I was kind of standing on them acquiring that bench depth this year. So giving up those 4 guys, I just don't like it. But I mean, Royce O'Neal and my man Roddy, that's cool. I mean, it's a C. It's a C.
I think this is a big time move for them. I really do. They get a guy that they can slot right next to KD. He's going to stretch the floor. He's battle tested. He's played in big series. Played along stars before, things of that nature. I think he helps them a lot. And then on top of that, like Ox, I know you don't really like them giving up Bates Diop and Metu, but the Suns still have competent players on that bench. They still have Josh Okogie. They still got Grayson Allen. They still got Eric Gordon. They still got, Damo's guy, Bobo. They still got Drew.
Respect Bobo.
They still got Nasir Little. They got Azubuike. So, they still got guys. Like, they still have depth. I don't think losing those guys was, that crazy. And out of everybody that I just mentioned, aside from maybe Grayson, he's better than all of those guys. So,
Ox, if they would have traded Bobo, I'd 100% been on your side, but they knew who to keep. And they're giving him minutes now. No one's talking about that. And since we talk about the Suns right now, I know we about to, and I just want to say, respect on Bobo. Whenever he's given 15 plus minutes, he has produced every game this season. Every game he's been given 15 plus minutes, he has produced in some way, some shape, some form. He ain't been ass. Respect Bobo.
Well, this is my thing.
I'm sorry, Big Ox. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that we talked about the Suns a lot at the beginning of the season, and there was only it looked like Frank Vogel had a group of bench players that he was playing, in the rotation at this time. Then he was going to this group that was playing on this time. So these guys weren't getting much playing time while they were getting much playing time, trying to acclimate them more. So it was a matter of time before Bobo started getting his minutes. But I mean, I just don't like giving up to Mezzi Metu. I just don't like that.
Damo has not wavered. Bobo is his guy. I respect that. I respect that. Damo has not wavered. That's his man. No problem.
I've been pushing for Bobo since he got snubbed in the draft, man. He should have been on Atlanta right now.
All right, y'all. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Open Gym is next on Playback. Y'all be sure to tap in. This was a great episode. We will be back on Monday. Same crew, same guys, same time. Can't wait to talk about the Super Bowl, and we got some other things to get into.
Niners, baby. And
Niners by 17, man.
Of the world.
Mahomes got his goat shape.
Mahomes,
baby. I can't wait for Pat Mahomes. I can't wait for the GOAT to show why he's the GOAT, man. Can't wait.
Okay, here's the problem.
I mean, he's still Tom Brady. Tom Brady still exists.
Real quick before we go. We can't have the GOAT conversation with Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady because he never beat Tom Brady. He played him twice. That's number one. Number two.
Eli's the GOAT?
I'm about to say so. Eli made us the GOAT now?
Hey. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna say this about the GOAT debate.
Hey.
Wait, hold on. What Eli say? What Eli say? Hey, Tom Brady's nice. Psych, I beat him twice.
He did.
Beat him
twice. He did.
Then on top of that. So if Pat Mahomes, let's say Damo that this season right here, right? He never gets back to the bowl game again after this year. But what you've seen from him, you get this for the next 5-6 years, right? If you get this for the next 5-6 years. So I get 6 straight years in the AFC Championship, 3 times in the bowl game, winning it however many times he won it, plus 12 years of this kind of play. I got to talk about him like I talk about Montana. I got to talk about him like I talk about Peyton Manning. I have to.
Yeah.
It'll be the same argument for what you call it. It'll be the same argument for LeBron being a GOAT for people. Longevity and your peak being so high. You might not have as many rings, but your dominance is great.
The Damo, you know what crazy though? Tom Brady. People forget. Ron says before too. Sometimes we're quick to put people in GOAT conversations, all-time great. Let them get there. Let them play a decade. Let them play 15 years, and we can have a conversation. Because look, I was a Peyton Manning guy growing up. I never liked Tom Brady. I was rooting against him. Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than every franchise in the league. You know how crazy that is? More Super Bowls than every franchise in the league. And he gave you about 15 elite seasons, 16 elite seasons.
Hey, Jalen, you know what else is crazy? You know what else is crazy? You know what else is crazy? Dunking the ball so hard that it breaks someone's foot. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Talk
That's
about
also
it.
crazy.
Absolutely.
Yo, on that
Absolutely.
note, we out of here. Remember,
outta here.
Open Gym is not on YouTube today. You must go to playback.tv/players choice, and you will be able to see Open Gym right here, right there. Click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat, and you'll be able to go catch Open Gym. It started at 11:15. Y'all get over there. I'll see you there. We out.
Later.
That's
Yo.